I just got a note from Aaron. Thank you, Aaron. I missed unmuting a button. So they didn't hear anything we said so far. So it was something
Okay.
along the lines of welcome back, and you were just starting to tell us about what happened since the last update attempt. When we finished our session, we started an update attempt. So why don't you go ahead and start at that point and then fill us in the rest of what you've done.
I set the computer on airplane mode so I didn't have any connection to my Wi-Fi network. And I went ahead with the update and everything seemed to be working fine. And at one point, it came right back to where it started. You know, it doesn't. I tried it from the pen drive, and I got the same results. But that time, I was sitting in front of it, and I got a message. Let me get my phone here because I took a picture of it, and the message actually says. See, when I get to 28%, it says your PC will restart several times. And once it hits the 28% mark, the system looks like it is rebooting. But then all of a sudden, I get the message on the lower part of the screen that says undoing changes made to your computer. And
Okay.
it starts working on the undoing changes, and when it reboots back to version 1909.
Okay.
And I tried it, you know, in many different ways, you know, from the pen drive, directly from the web. And as a matter of fact, I've done it twice today because I found a utility on the internet that some people, because I'm always getting the same error. You know, I'm always getting the same message at the end that says, driver updates failed to install for the Brother printer, the HP printer, and another one, it says, it's something about the Windows Defender. So I kept
Okay.
searching and searching and searching. I put in the error code that comes after the message, and I found a video online that somebody had solved the problem with a utility that they found that is called, let me see it here. I have it, I downloaded it on my computer if you want me to click on it and everybody can see it.
Yeah, why don't we go and also go take a look at the error message about those drivers. Now, one of the things that have in mind doing is installing or upgrading to 2004, also known as 20H1. However, if you're getting failures to install device drivers, I think that might be more productive to look at that. And I think somebody mentioned that in comments or chat about them noticing some drivers that weren't installing for you. So I'm going to switch over to your screen now. I see you bringing up some things, and let's minimize. I'm going to minimize your Zoom window in the background. Okay, go ahead and show us what you've got to show. You're going view. Go ahead.
Hold on, let me see if I can click on it. Because it's like the mouse pointer is moving all around, but I have no response from the computer.
Oh, really? Okay, let me try clicking. I'll click on. Whoops,
there you go. There you go. And if you see these two error messages here, and then this one,
okay,
those are the three things that I found on the Windows utility that lets you turn on and off whichever updates you want to install.
Okay.
So let me go ahead and show you what the utility is. Let
Okay.
me see if I can click on it here. It says it's called WU Show Hide. And this thing, the first time I ran it, see, I get this dialog here, show or hide updates.
Okay.
Click on the next, and it starts detecting problems. The first time I ran it, it detected those 3 drivers, those 3 errors came up on the screen, and I had the opportunity to disable them. Now they're not showing on this utility anymore. The first time I did, see, I went to hide updates.
Okay.
And I see, I'm only getting this one now. But the other 2 I'm not getting.
Well, are the other 2 currently hidden?
Yeah, but the weird part about it is that if I try to show the hidden updates,
Yeah.
they don't show up. Let me start it again because it doesn't have a back button.
Well, I saw a back button in the upper left corner.
Yeah, but I click on it, it doesn't work.
It doesn't do anything.
Yeah. The second time I ran this thing, and I said show the hidden updates, nothing popped up there.
Okay. Show hidden updates.
See, now they're popping up again. See them here?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The next time I ran it, everything was blank. So I went ahead and ran the updates again, and probably this is why they're here again, because they were downloaded again, or something happened after I.
Yeah.
Let me try it again, close it and open it. It really, took me off of what I was doing, because I thought they were going to show as hidden updates the rest of the time, but they didn't show up there anymore. So now those are hidden, those 2 are hidden, and now I have 2 different ones. And every time I do the update, I run the update, it goes all the way up to 28%.
Yeah.
And when it starts rebooting, it says the message that it's coming back to the original state that I had.
Okay. Let's certainly we want to go do the update troubleshooter. Have you done that yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
See, let me see. Let me hide these 2 updates.
Okay. Sure.
See, this one is the antivirus that I was seeing on the message down here.
Yeah.
But this one was not showing.
Okay. Well, let's hide that one.
This one.
No, the 20H2.
This one.
Yeah, we're going to hide that, and we want to see some updates function without trying 20H2. I want to see if the Windows Updater is properly functional by doing these other updates. While that's resolving, I'm going to take a quick look at chat. There's quite a bit in here, so my eyes are going to scan through without really reading everything until I see something. Ed saying perseverance, thank you. Hellos. We got through the audio issues. Perfect sunny day with blue skies.
Yeah. Every time I disable one, it says fixed, and I get a check mark.
Yeah, but that brought that one back in. We wanted to hide that one, and it's looking like it's fixed that one.
This one had never popped up on the original time I ran it.
But we just now hid that one.
Yeah, let's see if I can show the hidden updates, and this one will show up in the hidden updates.
All right.
Because originally I had three hidden objects, but that was not one of them. It was the other one that we didn't select. Show hidden updates. See, now we got those three hidden updates. Now updates are hidden and will not be installed.
Okay.
Select the updates that you want to install automatically. I don't want to install any of them.
Okay, now let me ask you, do you have an HP printer and a brother printer?
Well, I used to have an HP printer many months ago, and I got rid of it. And the brother printer that I have, we uninstalled all the brother software and everything that had to do with the brother software.
Yeah, we did as part of our work, and that very well could
Right.
be why it won't install.
The only printer I have now which is working is my Epson printer.
Is that this one?
Yeah, it's offline because I have it. But all the other printers that you see there,
Yeah.
I have no idea how they got there.
Okay, well, let's see if we can get rid of those.
I've never had a Brother 3070 or an OfficeJet 8600. Probably the 8600 is when I help my friend in Miami via log me in.
Okay.
He has an HP 8600.
Okay.
So it's probably being, when log me in goes into that computer, this is a printer that is setting as a default. If he prints on his printer out there, it'll come and print over here.
Okay. There, those guys are gone.
Yep.
I have comments in chat about an echo noise. I think that's coming from your microphone. Is there anything doable about that, or are we just going to live with that?
Let me see if it's a fan that I have blowing in this direction. Hold on, let me see.
All right.
Is that any better?
No, that didn't make any difference.
Okay, well,
As far as I could tell.
I turned off
Well,
the fan.
it's livable if you don't have something that you can fix, but I just mention it to you in case there is something that you can fix.
So now those three updates are supposed to be excluded for any Windows update.
Yeah, but now that we deleted those printer icons, those printer items from your control printers, I'm wondering if those will not even attempt to install anymore. So I'm going to go back into here and show those and see if they will just terminate and go away. Here we go. Last update on the show, loading Windows 10C, got my friend to remove backup drive, offered to change his boot device, right click on it, properties, startup type automatic, services running. Thanks for help with it all. It is the Windows installer service. That could be. The fixes, I have had updates fail because of failing HDD. Trying to remember original session. Is this an HP Inspire? No, it's a Dell laptop. What's what is the problem? It's supposed to be stopped when not in use. Windows installer search type services locate. I'm gonna pass on that for now, Viv. You don't need to keep bringing that up. The antivirus is just the data definitions. Yeah, but if it won't install, there's something going on that's messed up. So if we do show hidden updates, I'm going to show these two, see if we can resolve them. Now, those may be failing simply because you don't have the printer and because we uninstalled the printer software for those. But the Windows Defender updates should be able to install.
There's only one Windows Defender update that failed.
And yeah, well, they only come once a day, so that makes sense that there'd only be one. But I'm still concerned that it is failing. Turn off and is involved installing drivers using Dell Support Assistant. And BIOS has missed urgent update. Now, you told us that you've run the Dell updates, but since there is a problem with updates working, I'd like to go check on the status of the Dell updates. Now, let's get back to see what Windows Update tells us now. Update settings. So,
Yeah, you have to go back.
we're in history, so clicking the back button. Malware successfully installed on 5/13, which was a few days ago. Go back again. Check for updates. Device manager, I did just look in that. There's no yellow check marks. Yes, they had major hit of 30,000 machines at work. Oh, I think I missed what that hit was. Blackwatch saying hello. Okay, so I kind of really ran briefly through the chat.
Okay, it's running the antivirus.
Okay, update. Then there's another brother, NHP, that was trying again. Updates available. Check for updates. View update history. Waiting.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Yeah, it is. It feels more sluggish than our last sessions.
Yeah, I've seen that this update history thing takes a little bit of time
All right.
to paint the screen every time.
Can I close your Outlook?
Yeah, go ahead. I just opened it to see if I could get in touch with you via the link you sent me, but you can.
Okay. There's Zoom, 2 apps, WebEx meetings, exit your WebEx meetings. All right, so here we got update history, feature update, quality updates, driver updates.
Also the two printer drivers.
Yeah, there's the printer drivers. But again, why is it trying to install those? We don't have either of those printers. We don't have any of that printer software.
Right.
There's no HP
No brother.
and no brother. I'm going to sort by publisher, looking for HP and brother. Nope.
No, we got rid of those. I have a
Yeah,
list.
we did. We did.
I have a list here of all the things that we uninstalled.
Yeah, absolutely, we did.
Now these
This
two down
should not
here,
be trying to install those updates, though, which indicates something
now
amiss.
that one, that last one installed, but
Yeah,
the previous one had said it had failed. But now look at the KB number, and now it's successfully installed.
yeah, it's the same KB number.
Right.
Yeah, so that has installed. That installed today.
Right,
So
right now.
Windows Update did successfully install that. Hey, I can see you better when you're blue for Gary. Okay, hello Doug, good day. Security update needed from Dell. Yeah, let's go take a look at Dell. Give a try Windows Update Assistant on the Microsoft website. Dell support no longer covered. Warranty. Yeah, the computer may be out of warranty. That doesn't mean that updates won't function.
Well, the Dell Assistant, even though it says the computer is out of warranty, it will actually update my whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I have like 5 items there.
Yeah, certainly. So here's Dell update.
Dell update, right?
Okay, so here we have the ID information. I'm just going to make a note of that tag, service tag HDF SK72.
See, last update was 5:12 at 9:56 a.m. and the last check was 5:14 at 7:28 p.m. If you click the check there, it should come up with if there is anything waiting, it should come up and tell you what's waiting to be updated. I had mentioned to you that I ran the update on my friend's machine from a pen drive we created on his side, and it resolved his problem.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Since our last session, as I understand it, you went to a friend's computer who was failing to install 20H2, and you used the USB. You used the USB memory stick.
He had been trying the update for many weeks now without having any luck.
Okay.
So we ran it off of the USB drive, and it took a long while, but eventually it installed. However, the message he was getting a red warning saying that there were some problems with the Windows security. It was a completely different message than the one that I am getting. However, he got into 202H.
Okay, very good. And he was at 1909?
He was at 1909.
Okay, great. All right, so then let's get this, understand this update first. Dell Security Advisory Update 5/11/2021. That certainly doesn't sound very, very critical or important, unless it's an advising of a problem with installing 20H2.
Yeah.
Kind of doubt that. Let's see if I float over the I. Okay, here. This package contains a remedy described in remediation step 1 of Dell Security Advisory CH. It doesn't really tell us what it does. So I think this one here gives me what? View the full documentation for this update. This package remedy enhancements, logging capabilities, ability to run against multiple drives, enhanced exit codes. None of that sounds very interesting to our issue. Download type. Download. This package contains remedy described in remediation step 1 of Dell Security Advisory. So that's in here. Right click, open link in new tab. It really doesn't sound like it's going to have anything to do with updating to 20H2. Platform security, insufficient access control vulnerability in Dell DB-util driver. No, I'm not interested in that at all for our problem. Okay, so I want to get started with downloading this 2004 because that's part of my plan, and then I want to describe some other things that are on my plan for doing next. So this is, to download this, we'll use Rufus. I'm not going to use Rufus to create a USB, however. I'm just using Rufus so that we can get 2004. And let's see, was that? That wasn't from Aaron. Okay. Create bootable drives, easy way. Where is that? Download. We want the download right there. And here's portable. So we want the portable version so we don't actually have to install it.
You might have the Rufus portable there somewhere. But
do you think you have it? All right.
No, just go
Let's
ahead
try.
Check the download.
There it is.
folder.
Yes, you do.
Yeah,
you do.
It should be there because I
3.11. Okay, great. So I want to get this started downloading because I'm pretty sure it's going to take a while. So to download this, we click on the select button click on the down arrow and then choose download. Now that we've switched this button to the word download, we can, your version, latest version, so they have a newer version.
You can go ahead and download the new one.
Pardon?
You can download the newer version if you want to.
Yeah, we're doing it. System 32 folder, not our ideal place to put it, but we're getting it done. Downloading. So this is downloading it right here. Let's see, looking at chat. OEMs must provide support, not the issue here. Agreed. Updated old 12-year-old PCs with Dell Assistant. Worked fine, I agree. From Chris, if 20H2 isn't offered automatically check for updates, you can get it manually through Update Assistant. It is being offered, and the update system is not solving it for us. 20H2 will not install. We've tried it a few different ways. So I'm going to go to install 2004, but there's a few other things that I'm going to do first while we're waiting for this thing to download, because it's going to take a while for 2004 to download, most likely, based upon what else is going on with the computer and your network connection, and you're on a Wi-Fi connection. Now, I had asked you about using a Ethernet connection. Did you make any progress on that?
Yeah, I use the Ethernet connection and everything worked exactly like on the
Same
Wi-Fi.
way. Okay,
Yeah.
no difference.
No difference.
All right. That says 100%. All right.
Yeah,
so we're at 3.
What it downloaded was the Rufus 3.14.
Yeah, and it's in the System 32 folder. Oh, here it is. Did it actually? I'm going to see if it actually went to that folder, because that's just a weird place for it to go. No, it didn't. It's right here. And it looks like I actually downloaded it twice. All right, so let's get back into Rufus. Double click there, answer yes. And then this drop down list, download, and then click on the download button. Yeah, here we go. So we want Windows 10. The other choices are Windows 8.1. Yeah, because we want that. No. And then here we can choose any release that we want. So I want 20H1, because 20H1 is still in support. So you're still fully in support if we get you onto 20H1. So the theory here is that 20H1 was less stuff than 20H2. It's quite possible you might upgrade to 20H1, and then from there it might just work just fine going to 20H2.
Right.
We don't know that for sure, but that's one of the things that I'm wanting to do today. It's not the only thing. I'm going to throw a bunch of mud against the wall, but this is interesting mud. Not the tired old mud that Microsoft has already accounted for and accommodated. So let's see, we're waiting for this.
You know, I was reading on the updates, and I had read about people who had tried this thing 45 to 50 times,
Yeah,
failing each and every one of them.
yeah. So what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. But if we do it different, people
Yeah.
doing it 40, 50 times, were they making changes? Or were they just trying the same way?
Well, I could assume that they are making changes, but who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I've tried it, you know, handful of times, every time differently, and I've gotten
Yeah.
the same results.
You haven't got the solution yet. And very, very, absolutely, people have said it in chat before, absolutely in a business environment, computer support technician working for a client, the computer should be nuke and pave, wipe and reload, because
Right,
it's,
no, I
it's
understand.
less costly. But
Right.
this is not, 20H2 is not the last feature update that we're going to have trouble with.
Exactly.
So I want to get a better handle on how to go after fixing updates. The fixes that we get for your computer, assuming that we do, are probably not going to be the same fixes that the next feature update is going to need, but it could be the same thought processes.
Well, exactly what happened to my friend.
Yeah.
He couldn't
Yeah,
get
yeah,
it. He couldn't get it updated, and I tried all the methods and ways that we were trying on this computer, and it solved his problem.
Okay, so this thing right here says, please wait. I selected a release. It's not, oh, there's running downloading script in the background. Is that what it's doing? Running download script. No, I think the download script is what I have now. Maybe something's
Stuff in
hiding
the
from
background.
view.
Yeah, there's some stuff there. There you go.
There you go. Web page error.
error.
That's what it is. Do you want to debug this web page? I doubt it. Use the built-in script debugger. Value private undefined. No, we don't want to debug it. There. That looked like it took us beyond. So we got Windows 10, 20H1, 10 Home Pro, English. Do you want English International or do you want English?
Just English.
Regular English. And then continue.
Get the same
Oh,
error.
there we
now.
go again. No. Okay, this is what it's supposed to do next. We can choose x64 or 86. And I have not tried using a browser. I don't know why I would want to do that. So then click there. So this gives us the image. It's going to the downloads folder. Is there somewhere else you prefer to put it?
Oh, that's fine.
That's fine. Okay. We'll save that. That's probably going to take a while to run. So in the meantime, I'm going to go to show my expanded Windows Update checklist and discuss some things. Do you go from 1902 direct 2002 on those old rigs? Okay, Blackwatch, yes, over here. No, and sometimes they're talking back and forth, skipping over. Laptops for the most part, apples, oranges. So I kind of skipped over that very sketchy, not really sure what's being said there, but I could tell you guys were talking back and forth between each other. So there we're at downloading 1%. Now I'm going to switch to my Microsoft OneNote. So you'll have to see this on, you're playing the YouTube on another device, I think, right?
Yeah.
All right. So then let's see. Does Control Plus zoom that? I think this will zoom so you guys can see it better. Zoom in. There we go. All right. So, First item is Microsoft Health Update Tools. That's automatic now. We don't have to do that. Delete the software distribution. We've tried that, and that's automatically part of Update Health Tools anyway. Update BIOS. We've already discussed that. Manufacturer updates. We've done that. MBR versus GPT. I don't think that matters because we've seen it on both. Update logs. We did that with you last time. I want to run the update logs and download it to my computer because if we're not successful with what we're doing today, my plan is to install 1909 on this laptop that I have sitting beside me right here, and then perform an upgrade to 20H2 and compare that log to your log. So these are the commands for the Windows Update log. And then Windows Update Troubleshooter, I think that's really not so important anymore these days, but we'll run it just because it doesn't take long. I say it's not important because I believe that the Microsoft Update Health Tools covers the things that are in the Update Troubleshooter. But we'll run it anyway. I think it's still in there just for legacy purposes. Disconnect all extra hardware. We've talked about that already. Uninstall device drivers. I don't want to go there yet. The idea there was any Dell-specific device drivers, just uninstall them and let Microsoft install as generic drivers, so it's not using the manufacturer drivers. We haven't looked to see on the Dell website if the Dell website actually has drivers for Windows 10 for this laptop. Did this laptop have Windows 10 when you bought it?
Yeah.
When it was new?
Right.
Okay. So then that's not an issue.
It's exactly how it came from the factory. The only thing is that I switched the HHD for an SSD.
Okay, then I don't buy that at all. That's a source of our trouble. So msconfig using diagnostic startup to use basic drivers and services only. I'm not certain that the update will even perform under that scenario, but it's on my list. Repair install. I'm not intending to go there with you yet. A new admin local user and run the update from that admin local user. So that we get away from your entire user profile. That's a potential that we might do today. Convert the login to use local account instead of Microsoft account, and that's a possibility.
I was looking into that this afternoon.
It's very easy to do. It has very little consequences.
Right.
Adjust power management profile to provide full power. I definitely want to check that, and I definitely want to do this. Disable power management for all device drivers. I have a video on my channel where I'm working with Harold, and he has a Dell laptop that won't wake up from sleep mode. And the solution was to disable the power management of all of his device drivers. So we know for a fact that Dell device driver power management will interfere with the normal function of Windows. So, and that's fairly quick.
The weird part about it is that I've been sitting in front of it, so it has never gone to sleep.
No, that's not the point. That's not the point. Sleep is different than the power management for your various different hardware components. So a hardware component could go to a reduced power level, not sleep, just a reduced power level to save power.
Yeah, but I have changed my power management level so that doesn't happen. Even when I had the hard drive there, I never wanted to shut anything down.
Okay, still not the point. So let's go look at that now to get that point across. So this is downloading 6%, still going. So I'm going to do Windows key R, no, take that back. Windows key and then power space ampersand to get to power sleep settings on the top of this search result. And we'll just go look to see what you described. Now, actually, your screen is turning off after 20 minutes.
Yeah, my screen is supposed to turn off, but, only the screen. And when on battery, 10 minutes. When plugged in, 20 minutes.
Okay, coming down to additional power settings, high performance power plan, change power settings. Plugged in. Okay, so we're going to change this for now. I don't think that really is the source of our trouble. I'm not proposing that at all. Turn off hard disk when it's plugged in, your hard disk is turning off after 20 minutes. regardless of what other choices you've made. Hard disk is turning off after 20 minutes. We don't want that.
Yeah, I never like to turn off any. I don't know why it says that because I turned it down to never turn off.
Well, you said never turn off for this stuff, but it wasn't.
No. But I went to the hard disk specifically and said never turn it off.
Okay. Well, right
So
now
I
that was
don't
that
know
was
why
set
it
for
was
20.
saying 20 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's. We're not going to worry about how it got changed back.
Right.
We're just going to go ahead and set it the way that we want. Sleep import plugged in important wake timers only. I want to disable any kind of interactions. Plugged in never. Hybrid sleep plugged in is off. Sleep after when plugged in is never. USB settings. USB selective suspend when plugged in is enabled. I don't want any selective suspend when plugged in. Disable that. Intel graphics settings. Power plan plugged in maximum performance. That sounds good. Just going to look at the alternatives. Yep. So we'll just take maximum performance. Power buttons and lid. Don't think I care anything about this because this is only going to affect if you
Yeah,
press
if you hit
power
the-
buttons or close the lid, and you're not doing that. Okay, so then link state power management is off. Processor power management. Plugged in is maximum. Cooling policy plugged in is active. So cooling policy, yeah, probably sounds like the best choice. There was no disable option there. Minimum processor state when plugged in is 100%, meaning the processor never makes less than 100% available when you're plugged in. Okay, display plugged in. Now, the only reason this still says 20 minutes is that this change that we made over here hasn't taken effect
You
yet.
haven't changed. Save it.
Yeah, so I'm
Yeah,
just
you can just leave it on. I'll fix it when everything.
yeah, you can fix it back to what you want later. Yeah.
Anyways, what I run a script there that will shut off the monitor anytime I double click on it.
Okay. Prevent when multimedia, prevent idling to sleep. That sounds like a good choice. Allow, no. Prevent sounds better.
I don't want the computer to sleep.
Right. Video playback performance bias performance. Power saving bias is the other choice. We don't want that. And optimize video quality. I doubt that we need to do anything there. Optimize power, no. And then battery, we really don't care about at all because it can't be doing anything. Battery,
Not on battery.
yeah, right. So that just has nothing to do with this at all. Okay, so, okay on that. Save changes. Now, then we're not done with power concerns. Why does that still show 20 minutes there? I'm going to close out.
Oh, I think you did. I think you did not apply all the changes you made on the.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Did I
think
not
you didn't-
apply them?
I think you said you went and
Oh no, here it is. This is back on never.
you said
It's
okay,
just,
but
it's
you
just
never
that
said
this screen did not refresh. Oh, okay accomplishes the same thing as apply.
apply. Okay.
And I'll demonstrate that just by going in here. The reason to do that the apply button is there at all is, see, we're back on never here. And what other things did we actually change? Hard drive. We changed something about the hard drive in here.
Yeah,
didn't
you
we?
put the hard drive.
Oh, it's right here. Yeah, it's there. Yeah. So the apply is the ability to apply the changes and not leave that screen. But clicking the OK button always applies the changes.
It applies and leaves the screen.
And leaves the screen. Yes, that has been a standard forever. Okay, so coming out here now, then these two drives here, these network drives, Can I disconnect from those?
Well, they're actually not connected.
I know they're not present, but your computer still has that configuration. If I really don't think that would have anything to do with it, but if we click disconnect here, that should take them off of your Windows Explorer. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Oh, look, it just connected to it. They are
Well,
accessible.
that one is a drive on my Linux machine.
Oh, okay. So it's accessible, but you know how to get those back.
Sure.
You know how to remap those. I really don't think that has anything to do with this, but like I said, I'm throwing a bunch of mud against the wall to reduce the number of times we come back at this. And if we're successful with the things that we do today, we're not going to know which of those was the successful
Right.
piece, but it just takes way too long to do these changes one at a time. Now they're both showing me the network connection does not exist. What if I refresh this page?
Try refresh on.
All right, try one more thing. Close that, come back in. If that doesn't work, then I'll go into the network settings. Get rid of one of them. Okay, so that here on network, and then up here on network, and where was it? Connect remote. I always struggle when I go looking for this place, not there, to disconnect that. Network and devices and where is that at? Oh, here. Disconnect network drive. So see here, it's different because I was doing right click on here on the actual drive and choosing disconnect. But if I come down to network, right click and choose disconnect network drive, that takes me into this interface, which should, well, that's a weird Chinese character there. Still not getting rid of that. Windows key E.
And see this drive here? See this
what
one that shows up here? This shows up after the updates.
It shows up after the updates?
Yeah, and if you do a restart, it'll disappear from the list here.
Is that a drive that's connected to your computer?
No, it's probably a virtual drive that is used by the updates.
Yeah, the updates do use virtual drives.
Exactly, because I rebooted the machine and it it doesn't show up.
Yeah. All right. And DM Express private Y.
Yeah, DM Express is the name of the machine that I have on the Linux side.
All right.
DM Express is the name of the Linux system.
All right. Let's take a look here in computer management. Okay, I'm going to look back at chat 334, Dan the Man. Hi. This is not going to work if the installer services is failing. I don't think it is failing. Met newer rigs to older. Gary, disk management. Check the partitions. Top of the morning. Gary, check halfway done. Check halfway done. I don't understand that sentence. And then Ken Stout says, wow, I'm late. Let's see, shared folders, shares. That isn't shared from this computer. That's a connection through the network. Somebody was wanting disk management.
I'm seeing a different feature on the live transmission than what I'm seeing locally.
than what you're seeing on Zoom?
Yeah, well, if I look at my file explorer, it only shows one disk there, Y, and then on your side it shows two of them.
I'm only seeing one drive, a Y colon.
Right, but if I look at the Windows Live training, it shows.
You mean
it
on
still
YouTube?
Shows, yeah, on the YouTube, it still shows two of them.
Well, I'm looking at my YouTube feed also, and I only see one Y drive.
Well, I see the Y and the Z.
The Y, I don't see the Z on YouTube. Is your YouTube is it live or is it rewound back?
It should be live.
I can't answer that. Do you see in chat, the last thing in chat at Gary Weisenberger saying down?
Hold on.
Oh, wait a minute. He deleted that.
Gary Weisenberger.
Yeah, Weisenberger, he's got a message retracted. Then Dan the Man, is he live or in DVR mode? That's what I'm wondering, is if you're in DVR mode. Now, if you're in DVR mode, then, well, in the bottom left corner of the video, you should see the word live and a red dot. If you don't see a red dot, click the word live, and that'll bring you up to where the rest of us are.
On the bottom where?
Bottom left of the video.
No, I don't have any button there.
You're looking on a computer?
Yeah, I'm looking at my Linux computer and...
Okay, in the bottom left of the YouTube, do you see a play button and a speaker for adjusting the volume? And then after that, the word live.
Hold on, I just got some advertising pop up here. Skip ads.
Let's see, check halfway down the page.
Windows 10 20H2 update refuses to install. That's the name I got there.
Oh, wait a minute. Windows 10 20H2 still refuses to install. Do you see the word still?
Nope.
You're on the old video.
Okay.
You're on the old video. Yeah, go back to my channel and launch the live video that's running now.
Well, let me see where. Yeah, I'm seeing a completely different thing that you are.
Yeah, I think you're on a replay of the prior video.
Where do I go back to your live channel? Because I don't see it here.
Do you see the channel, my channel icon? That's a round circle of my face.
No. Oh, down here. Okay.
Yeah, below the video.
There you go.
If you click on that, that should take you
now
to
it says still
channel page.
There you go. Yeah, I was looking at something else completely.
Yeah. Okay, so this Y drive is just not going away. I don't think that's a hindrance to us, so I'm going to go past that. Here we're at 26% on the download. Let's see, Blackwatch, it makes no sense in any comment. Viv, you speak in riddles. Blackwatch, is your Gmail broken? Okay, well you're talking between each other, so I'm at 354 in chat. So, are you on the live video now?
Yeah, now I'm on the live.
Okay, great. So then I want to go to, let's see, Windows key to bring up your start button, right click, and device manager. Some more power stuff. This is where the fix was for Harold's Dell laptop that was not getting along with Windows. And what for audio inputs, speakers, I don't think these are going to have power management, but basically we go into properties and we're looking for a tab called power. Anything in device manager properties that has a tab called power. So I'm going to get down to the ones that I think may actually have power. The camera would be very unlikely to be of concern at all. It doesn't have power. Here we've got computer. This is probably not going to have power. I'm going down them item by item and not skipping to the ones that I'm sure have power, because this is kind of a new strategy. It worked for Harold's problem, and it's very easy for me to believe that it could work for other problems. Here, display adapter. I think we're going to find a power tab. Nope. DVD, probably not. Nope. Firmware, not. Human interface devices, no. Although, USB input devices, yeah, there's power management. And allow a computer to turn off this device to save power. The idea behind this strategy is just don't let the computer turn anything off. Don't try to make sense of that. Think of it as though Windows and device power management has known problems with Dell laptops. Now, when I say known problems, I don't mean you can go search it on Google. I'm saying that I proved on Harold's computer that power management on devices was causing his computer's failure to come out of sleep mode. And I understand we're not concerned here about sleep mode. That's not my point. My point is that Windows and this power management of devices not working right. And this totally may not be the source of our trouble. Again, throwing mud at the wall.
See what sticks.
Yeah. And this will be part of my checklist going forward, and I may eventually be able to narrow things down to see common issues. Now, of course, the wireless adapter, your Wi-Fi, has this check mark. Now, we've already told it in power management not to reduce power, but this is just a more, significant or powerful place. I mean, we're not just turning off, not just telling it to not save power, but we're preventing it from having the ability of messing with power. So I don't think any of the rest of these, I don't think these WAN mini ports will have a power management tab. Then print cues. I really don't feel strong about any of these. I'll just spot check them. Because these aren't devices that take power. They don't use power for print cues. So that's all I'm going to do on print cues. Processor certainly has the capability of spinning down power, but that wouldn't be handled by a device driver. So none of those. Software devices, they don't take power. Sound and game uses power. Properties, no power tab. Intel display, nope. Bet this one doesn't either. No. Now we're down to storage controllers. We've told it not to turn off power for the hard drive, but that driver doesn't even have anything. System devices has a bunch of stuff in here. I'm not going to go through all of those. Not sure that I'm going to do any of them because I don't think I had to do any of these for Harold. And whether these are power management items or not, it seems to me like some of them could be, but there's just so much there. Just going to spot check at random without trying to evaluate what these are. I don't think we're going to find any power management tabs. And we're down to USB.
Power management.
I'm guessing it was just that first one.
You know, on my friend's computer, we didn't uninstall any of the software or the drivers, the antivirus. What we did was we disabled everything that had to do with the antivirus, the malware, the VPNs. We just disabled everything.
I think that was completely fine to do, and obviously it was for that computer. I have had occasions where uninstalling an antivirus product made a difference, and I can say it made a difference because it was the only thing that I did to solve a problem. Now, that doesn't mean that that action is going to solve the problem in somebody else's issue.
Right.
You know, in your case, those uninstalls we did not fix anything.
Exactly.
So that's water under the bridge. I don't think that
well, I didn't want to install anything back until we got finished with this anyway.
Yeah, agreed. Thank you.
So what I'm doing is every time I use the internet, I switch on my Wi-Fi and I connect, and then when I finish, I just disconnect them.
Okay. So let's see. BIOS is up to date. Yes, Blackwatch, and Wi-Fi speed is well, it's not going to prevent the update from installing. And Aaron says that you said the speed was around 20 megabits per second. That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Well, that has to do with this downloading.
Exactly.
I knew this download was going to take a long time.
Right. Usually I'm getting 20. Sometimes in the evening it goes down a little bit, but
yeah.
That's basically what I get out here.
And we're doing the remote connection, and we're doing Zoom.
Exactly.
And you are in a rural area, I think you said.
And I have my other computer with the LiveStream running, so I can shut that one off.
Oh yeah, because you're watching YouTube on the other one.
Yeah, let me shut it off.
Yeah, that might be worthwhile.
I just shut it down.
Let's see, all kinds of things. Says your best bet is probably create a new account, user log out, and install the update on that user. Did not work for me, but has worked for others. I agree with that, and that is on my list of items. So I'm going to go back to my list. Let's see, keep this up front, and I'm switching back to my computer, my Microsoft OneNote. The update log, we can process that. The update troubleshooter, I don't want to run that while we're doing the download. Device drivers, no. Manually download, that's what we're working on. msconfig, that is a light load on the computer for us to do. So we'll go look at that. New admin, we can do that. That's not going to interfere with the download going on. and converting the local account. Yeah, so that's, I'm going to take these in order. That Windows Update log, that doesn't seem like it's a high demand on the computer, let alone the internet connection. So let's go back here again. So I'm going to highlight that command, Control C to copy it into my clipboard, and highlight this command, Control C, copy it into my clipboard, and then bring your computer back up on screen. And rather than maximize it, I'm just gonna make it take a little more of the screen, and then Windows key, right click on the Windows button, and then oh yeah, we don't have PowerShell here, do we? Right. Okay.
No, you have to run it from the
okay.
run.
So here's PowerShell. I'll right click, run as administrator. I don't think this command actually requires run as administrator, but why not do it? Okay, so then if I do Windows key V on your computer, I am getting my clipboard. Okay, so here's get Windows Update log. That pastes that and press enter. So that builds all the various different log files for the different components of Windows Update. Now it's done. And then Windows key V, and then set up, whoops, wait a minute, before I do that, we already have one of those logs on your desktop. So Windows key D to get to the desktop. And
here it is.
Here it is, this one right here. So I don't know if it's going to overwrite that or append it. I want to find out. So I'm going to do Control C for copy. I'm going to click out here into the blank area, Control V for paste. And here's the copy that it pasted. I'm going to bring it over here, and it's named as copy log. So then Alt Tab to get back to your PowerShell, and then Windows key V to bring up the clipboard, and then Setup Diag. I click on and press enter. So this is going to create a document on the desktop, except I think it did not work right. Yeah, it did not work right. That has been because you need to be in the folder where Setup Diag is, and I think we probably have it in your Downloads folder. And it doesn't have to be run from PowerShell. So I'm going to exit PowerShell and then launch Windows Explorer. Try your Downloads folder. And Windows key V to remind myself, that's called Setup Diag.
Yeah, it's down, it's right here.
Do you see it? Oh, yeah, right here. So then a double click on that to run it. Answer yes for user account control. Searching for setup logs, and it found them. Gathering baseline information. Looking at chat. Ed, have you tried running Uncle Carrie's Windows 10 Optimizer? Not for this, no. Or maybe he's talking to somebody else. Did I just see Rufus downloaded a third time? Really?
Yeah, I saw
Oh,
a while ago.
yeah, okay. Yeah, I think I inadvertently downloaded it multiple times, and you had already downloaded it.
Right.
Blackwatch perhaps so, but then why not a fresh install of 20H2? All kinds of things corrupt use account is just the beginning of issues. Yeah, the reason why not a fresh install of 20H2, two reasons, I'd say. Luis has a lot of programs installed, so it's not just like some of you in chat, you can just reinstall and it's no big deal. If you got a lot of programs to install, it can be a big deal. Second choice is I want to find ways to solve these update problems because we're going to keep having them going into the future. And my client offices, man, if I wind up having, I rarely have feature update problems on those. And the way what I attribute that to is they're very simple, clean running machines. We just use basic Microsoft products, a few vertical market products, but they're not trying to mess around in the operating system or writing directly to devices. So that finished. Windows key D, and let me just float the mouse over to see date and time stamp. That is showing current date and time.
That's the new one.
All right. So it did that new. Now, looking at this old one to see what is the oldest item, it's May 16th. And let's see, Windows key right arrow to take the left half of the screen, and then just click on the desktop to get back to the desktop, and then open this new one. And then Windows key left arrow. So 516, they both start at the same point. Okay. Scrolling down to the end by dragging the scroll bar. On this one, I'm going to click in there and use what? The end key? Yeah, that takes me to the... No, that took me to the right end of the first line. How about control end? Yeah, that did it. Both showing May 16th. Oh, that's curious. It updated the copy as well.
Yeah, we have the same contents on both of them.
Well, these are actual files on the desktop. They're not shortcuts.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
Well, that's weird. How did it update the copy that I made first? Let's see. Floating over this copy, it shows...
Well, it's 516, and they're both the same.
Yeah, they're both the same. That's weird. If I look at properties to make sure it's not a shortcut. No. Windows Update copy log. Here, it's stored on the desktop. All right, well, that was weird.
Yeah.
Alt-Tab to bring the first one back up. And I guess I really don't need both of them up, do I? Because they're the same. All right. So I'll close the one called copy, maximize the new one, bring you up to full screen to get rid of my computer's background stuff. Control end to go to the bottom.
Look at the lines there that says skipping printer driver.
Skipping printer driver due to incomplete info, mismatch environment. Well, that makes total sense because you know that we had uninstalled it. It should, but it's interesting that it was recognizing those drivers. So this log is not just 20H2. This log is whatever was pending to be installed via Windows Update. I'm deducing that. I'm clicking up one page at a time, just kind of getting a little high-level orientation. The scroll box is just about 80% from the, or 20% from the bottom. So this file is really, really big. Now, I know that the copy and this original currently show the same content. Windows key right arrow to move that to the right half of the screen. Click in the blank area of the desktop to get back to here, and here's that copy. So I'm going to open that copy and I'm going to try something. Windows key left arrow to move it to the left half of the screen. Control home to go to the top of that file on both of these, and then right here in the copy I'm going to change that 16 to an 8 and save it. Close, save, close this one, reopen both of them. Click on one, control click on the other, press the enter key, should open both of them at the same time. Does it? Yeah, it did. Okay. Windows key right arrow to move that to the left half of the screen, then click on the other one that I want, and that'll take up the left half of the screen. Then here, that 18 is still there. So these files are independent of each other. Now, if I do, let's see, control end, today is 5/16. So this whole log is only what happened today.
Yep.
We didn't get the log of your update to 20H2 attempt. That's weird. We did last time. Maybe that's why this log looks so much cleaner.
We can delete both of the files and run the setup diag again.
I would think it'd give us the same information because the actual log files, those original ETL files, haven't changed.
Wait, we got an error. We got an error there.
Oh, where?
I don't know if it's the download or something came up with an error. Here.
Could not download. Oh, geez. The request is timed out. The request has timed out. Well, is that a clue? Something timing out during the Windows upgrade to 20H2 could certainly be a problem, or are we just making too much demands on the computer?
And this will have to start all over again, or it'll catch up again where it started, where it ended.
My guess is it'll have to start over again, but my alternative, what I'm thinking is I'll download it on my computer and then transfer from my computer to yours, but that doubles the time, except that mine might download faster. Now, you're not connected to Ethernet right now, correct?
No, I'm connected wirelessly.
And I'm guessing...
We still have the Zoom connection on, and you have the control of the computer, so it did not actually disconnect from the Wi-Fi.
True.
So why would it time out? And we haven't had any breakup in the sound or the video or anything.
No. And I would think that a download would be more tolerant than our
we'll try it
video connection. So this doesn't have a retry option there. My only choice here seems to be close, or what about here? If I click download here, running download script, Windows 10 is going to take me through those choices again. Not that one. We want this one. So how did you notice that error when I had those other Windows?
Just popped up on the screen, and it hid behind the two notepads.
Oh, okay. Probably because I clicked on something and you just were able to spot that when I didn't see it. Now, so here I clicked on the continue button and I saw something.
You have something in the back.
Yeah, in the back.
The same script that was web page error.
Web page error. Could this have something to do? I don't think this would have to do with our download problem. I think this has to do with, this looks like something to do with Rufus communicating with its source. Use a built-in script debugger in Internet Explorer? Excuse me?
You won't be able to see anything there.
Yeah, we don't need to do that. Do you want to debug? No. And then it takes us back to the next thing. So I think it's got something to do with showing these extra fields, because that's what that script was trying to do, is take us to the next step. But it finishes these steps okay and starts the download. We could say don't show this message again. Now, okay, how about with the browser?
Well,
That's a significant different kind of download. And that might be why they have that checkbox here.
well, we can try it. I'm open to any suggestion. There, it's coming down. You're right here.
Yeah, right down here. Yeah. All right, so we'll let that run. 52 minutes, 49 minutes, 52 minutes, looking at chat.
It hasn't even started downloading.
Pardon?
It has not even started to download.
Yeah, because it still shows 0.0.
Right. There it started, 0.1.
Hello, Greg Guy. Let's see. Yeah, Blackwatch still wants that barbecue from Ken. All right. Caught up on chat. 4:20 p.m. .1 gigabytes. Well, it says 1 hour left. Yeah, I'm assuming that it's not reasonable for you to connect to an Ethernet cable now. Is that correct?
Oh, I can just pull it out and bring it out here.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good thing to do. Let's see over here. And here's Wi-Fi. Right
This one
click.
is the one that I used the last time. This one right here.
Okay. I'm showing here speed at 65 megabits per second. That's just your Wi-Fi speed. That's
Right.
not
Yeah,
internet
that's my
speed.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And the signal quality is excellent because I'm actually like 20 feet away from my router.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's more likely your internet speed, the source of the slowness. Although this, I downloaded this on my own, one of my own computers, and it seemed like it took 10, 15 minutes. Okay, so we see this little green bar on the left side of that icon showing progress. Let's see, let me get that in a better place for us. If I put this browser at a medium size, we should be able to keep it on screen. How about, I'm going to close that Dell security. Drag this off to the right. There, we can keep an eye on that status. So this window is still involved in that download because
actually, that's the old window because you hit download with the browser.
Yeah, we said download with the browser. So, but this says
Well, that one's not.
downloading.
Yeah, well, that was the old window.
Yeah,
The
I
old window at
agree.
42. Yeah. Now see the speed, it dropped down again, and look at the 3 hours, 4 hours, 2
Right.
hours.
So I'm thinking we could close this window.
Yeah, I think you can close it. Nothing's gonna happen to the download.
Yeah, it's still going.
Now it picked up a little bit of speed, and it's very, very variable.
Let's doing a Control Shift Escape to bring up Task Manager and see what's going on here. 21% network, 2% disk, CPU memory. So CPU, memory, disk, and even network all look reasonable. It's a 4.9 gigabyte file we're trying to download. I think it's just going to take a while. Yeah, well, this is the full image. You know, we know even when you do when we delete the software distribution folder and you do a fresh check for updates, it takes a long time. Let's see. Is his CPU nearing 100%? No, it wasn't.
Not even close.
No, not even close. It's common when you first open Task Manager, it'll show 100% or a high number for a little while and then come back down, because just opening this window seems to take a lot of CPU. So I'm going to close that again. William Dawson is using 2.4 gigahertz band on his Wi-Fi for the computer's internet connection. Could be why the long download times. I don't think so, because his Wi-Fi is showing pretty good speed. You're getting what do we say to it? Much higher speed on your Wi-Fi status than on your internet speed test.
Exactly, my internet speed is probably.
Come back here and show that. Change adapter settings, and then right-click on Wi-Fi and choose status. And this shows us right here, 65 megabits per second. That's way more than his download speed on his internet. So his Wi-Fi is working just fine. Now, did you connect a Ethernet?
No. You want me to connect it?
Yeah. I think I've always seen that to be safe when that doesn't interrupt a download.
Okay, I don't know if it will interrupt it, but I can connect it.
Yeah.
Just let me go over there and bring the cable out here. Let me bring the wire.
All right. Greg Guy says it was 84 megabits per second. I'm not sure where you saw that. Or are you saying it was 84 earlier when we previously went in and looked at this status? Are you saying that instead of 65 megabits per second, it was 84? He's getting 5 bars of signal strength. He's in the same room as his Wi-Fi access point. And Greg Guy says yes. So I'm assuming you mean yes, his Wi-Fi was 84 megabits per second. That's kind of the problem with me asking a yes or no question. You answer it with yes, and I have to deduce that what was it that I asked you back then. I'm pretty sure that that's what you're saying yes to. Let's see, I'm hiding that. Bring it back here, we're at 0.7 gigabytes downloaded so far. I was kind of wanting to go do some of the other things that the other changes that I'm wanting to do. So I'm showing my Microsoft OneNote for the new Windows Update checklist that I've been compiling. We haven't done the Windows Update troubleshooter yet. We ought to do that because it really doesn't take long to do. We've done that. Uninstalled device drivers are not going to. Interim update, we're working on that now. msconfig for diagnostic and startup. So let me go do that instead of read over the others now. So Windows key R, msconfig, enter. What I'm proposing to do here is use this option, load basic devices and services only. He was on normal startup. All these services are selected. The startup tab is on Task Manager now. But when we go to Diagnostic Startup, it unselects a whole bunch of stuff. Now, I don't know if a feature update will run with all those services
Okay, it's hooked up.
disabled. You got it hooked up now? All right.
Yep.
So cancel that and go see what we're seeing for statuses. That's the Wi-Fi status, and then bring up the Ethernet status.
Let me reconnect the wire to see if it's not actually. There you go.
Okay, bringing these up side by side. I'm not liking this because these numbers aren't moving anymore. 1.0 on the download.
Let me get rid of the Ethernet thing to see what happens.
Yeah, go ahead.
See, this one over here is the one that is connecting me up right now. See?
That one is connected to what?
That one is the one that came up when I connected the
Okay.
wire.
So do you have the Ethernet connected now?
Yep.
All right. Well, we do have sent and received numbers here, but they're not climbing. Yeah, I was assuming this one was your Ethernet, but that says Wi-Fi direct down here, and
It's Wi-Fi direct, virtual, whatever.
I don't know what that
is.
I don't know what that's about. So this was your Ethernet, and this hasn't moved from 1.0, and the minutes are, well, it's still going up and down. Let's see, received 861, 779.
Yeah, it says 1.1 now.
Yeah, here we go. Now we got numbers climbing.
It's still moving on the on the wireless.
Yeah, but the Ethernet is moving too.
But very little.
Yeah, very little. Yeah, so here we're seeing, let's see, that's megabytes, that's gigabytes. So 19 megabytes, 21 megabytes, 22 megabytes, 24 megabytes, 26 megabytes. And when this 4 changes to 5, we should be, well, we may not see that a change to the gigabyte number there, but that should be a reasonable correlation. And oh, 38 minutes left, 37 minutes left. Okay, so let me go back to what I was going into while you were going after the Ethernet is msconfig. So this is another one of the things that I'm proposing to do as our next attempt to update is to use a diagnostic startup, which is going to disable a whole flood of services. And my expectation is when we try to launch that update, it might tell us that we can't do it under this configuration, or it may automatically start the services that are required in order to perform the update. But this was another mud to throw at the wall. And I'll go ahead and click OK on that. I'm going to exit without restart. So that's just setting us up for that. And then Windows key users to add, edit, remove other users. So you're currently, if I go to your info, we see that you're logging in with a Microsoft account. We can click here to sign in with a local account instead. And I can't see any way that that's going to impact this download that's happening because this is a pretty quick and easy change to make. All right, here we go. Clicking. Are you sure you want to switch to local account? Windows works better when you sign in with Microsoft, according to Microsoft. Switching to a local account means you won't see your personalized settings on all your devices. You might be asked again to sign in again if you want to access info associated with your account. If you still want to continue, go to the next step to verify your identity. Are you okay with all that?
Go ahead.
All right. Click next. I'm going to test that and be sure that password doesn't show up. Password does not show up. So you need to type in your Microsoft account password. Now, if you want to display it to see that you typed it correctly, let me know and I'll take you off screen.
No, just go ahead. I know I typed it.
Okay with that?
All right.
All right, clicking OK. And then it's wanting your username that you want to use for a local username. Is that okay, or do you want to change it?
Well, you can put there Luis F and the number 2 so we can distinguish it from the other one.
Well, we're not creating a new account. This is just changing your computer to log in with a local account instead of a Microsoft account. Creating a second user account is what we're doing next. That's not this step.
So wouldn't it be better to create a second user account and just, ignore this one?
No, I don't like that because the second user account is going to be a local admin account, and there might be trouble with a local admin account making changes to a computer that is currently associated with the Microsoft account. Okay. Because when you make changes to a computer that's associated with a Microsoft account, Microsoft wants to verify that you have authority to do that. Okay. So I don't want your primary user account to be using a Microsoft account. Now it's easy to change this back to logging in with your Microsoft account and reconnect to whatever data that Microsoft has stored for you.
Okay, well, just let me put in a new password.
Yeah, and be sure you don't forget it.
No.
All right. Let's see. Oh, Carrie Holzman's in the chat. Hello, Carrie. Let's see. Where was that in chat? 429. Not too bad. More freedom. Yes. Wi-Fi 144. Blackwatch. How far am I tossing them? That is not Ethernet. I'm in San Juan as Luis, but have 200 megabytes connection with Liberty, which is a local cable company. Luis is in a rural area, which is part of the reason for his internet speed issues. Check speed test from Michael. I had that on my mind, but this is going to take the amount of time it takes. Carrie says, I recommend making a MEM test 86 bootable USB. Test the RAM. If it passes, do an internal reset of Windows 10 current version, then use the Update Assistant without installing other drivers and updates. Beyond that, one needs to consider the cost of the laptop versus the value of the labor required. Yeah, so this is not a case of trying to being cost efficient in fixing this laptop. This is about trying to get better at fixing difficult Windows updates, because we are going to continue having Windows update problems. That is my highest level objective here. So you got a password hint there. You've done your new password, clicking next. And local account almost done. Sign out and finish. No, we're not going to sign out and finish because we have this download in progress. Make sure you save your work. That would interrupt our download. So can we just leave that sit there, or even, cancel that. So we're going to have to go back and do that piece again. We're at 1.8 gigabytes download. People saying hi to Carrie. Look towards Detroit, 5 miles east. More hellos to Carrie. Blackwatch not all that far. Finally found something in Italy. Viv, stick around a while. Okay. 4:43. Yeah, so Carrie had his shot at fixing Tim's problem. This is my show at this point. And I've got our plan moving forward here, which we're going to stay on this plan for now.
You know, I saw a message there that says she has a 200 megabit account in San Juan.
Yeah.
I was signed up with that company down here where I am in Gurabo, and it doesn't even come close to that. I mean, I had to quit the cable company to get the telephone company to give me the speed I have, because the other one would not work at all.
Yeah.
Maybe they have a operator or updated their systems, and I can look into it, because, you know, I'm
well, all the ISPs, they have different levels of service in different regions.
Exactly.
So your rural location with a 20 megabyte per second download, I mean, I've seen worse than that in my city limits for business offices not so long ago.
Well, you know, my friend, the one that I helped fix his computer, he can only go up to 16.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's usually around 9 or 10 or maybe 12. He even had the company, you know, the telephone company guys go up there to the source of the wire coming into his house, and they say you cannot go over 16.
All right. So I'm going back to my list here. Let's see, new admin user account. We talked about that. Converting the login to local account. Power management, we did that. We did all the power management for the device drivers. Yeah, so once we get this 2004 downloaded, we'll be completing those other two changes, meaning switching to local user account, creating the new local admin account, and restarting the computer after using diagnostic startup. So that was 3 items.
Well,
not
let
2.
me ask you something. When
Yeah.
you restart the computer in diagnostic mode, can I get in touch with you via this, or I won't have all
Yeah.
those?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Of course, I say that without having tested that. We'll look at that closer when we get to that point. Rick, not a chance. Ada in San Juan. Alda in Garabo. Yeah, I can't pronounce that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Guraucawas and La Piedra Liberty sucks. That's what I had here.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. Las Piedras Liberty sucks. Okay. And Rick saying UK out of stock, USA out of stock, about regarding a motherboard. Okay, so I'm at 445 in chat. Now, we should be able to create that other user account. So family and other users.
Well, yeah, if you create another user account,
yeah. Add someone else to this PC, because we won't have to log out of the account that we're currently in. That's the only reason we weren't able to pursue that. So we're not going to use an email or phone, because that's going to tie us to another Microsoft account. So we're going to say, I don't have this person's sign-in information. Something went wrong. I'll have to, creating a locally, that's questions. That's not doing it. I've done this before. That should work. So maybe because I started changing you from a Microsoft account to a local account, and maybe the poor computer's confused. It's going to make us wait. Let's close down some other stuff.
You can go ahead and disable that last connection I had there, because I don't know what it is.
Yeah, the last connection, meaning that Ethernet?
Yeah.
Oh, no, maybe you mean this this one that is confused about what it is.
Yeah, the virtual. No, that one is okay. This one is the one, direct virtual adapter.
Yeah, I'm reluctant to do that because I've seen that around before, and as far as I know, it might have something to do with your Wi-Fi.
Okay.
I don't know what it is there for. Okay, 4:45. We're an hour 51. We got 30 viewers. Checking DVRs enabled. Stream health is reporting healthy. Okay, so what I'm going to utilize this time for, I'm going back to my OneNote, and I'm going to highlight the things that I'm wanting to do before we're done. So here I'll pick, there's that highlight tool. Let's see, I still want to do that update troubleshooter, only because it doesn't take much time. I really have very little faith in it. The update log, oh, I want to download that to my computer. It's not as useful to me now since it doesn't include your last attempt at 20H2. I'm going to take it anyway. So the way I do that is I'll switch back to your computer and Windows key to bring up your taskbar, and then click over here on the chat window for log me in, and click up here on this file folder, select your desktop, and that was click on one of these and then press a W on the keyboard to get down to Windows Update Log. That guy right there. Click Open, and then on my computer I get a message offering me a location to store that. I'm going to go to my OneDrive, Live Windows Training, and that's close enough. Call it Windows Update hyphen Luis 5-1621 before attempt. Save that. Tiny little file. Finish that very quickly. All right, back to my OneNote file. I've got that highlighted. Manually install. Okay, so this is the interim update that we're working on now. I'm going to pin this toolbar so I don't have to keep opening it. Diagnostic startup, highlight that. Not going to do repair install. Create the new admin local user. Convert the local user account instead of Microsoft account. Already did the power management profile, did disabling of all power management stuff. Got that's done. That's everything. Alt tab to go back to your screen. Full screen. Close that window. We're at 2.7 of 4.9. So
cross your fingers so that we do not have a power failure, because they are very common.
Now that crash, that interruption for downloading was less than half of that file, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, so we're beyond half. We've got a blue circle around the perimeter of this download that gives us a graphic representation that we're just a little bit beyond half. Of course, half of 5 gigabytes would be 2.5.
Here we got half, just about half down here.
Yeah, and it's showing 20 minutes left. Yeah, that's right. That graphic on your taskbar, I'll bring that up again down here, showing us half of that Google Chrome graphic is green. Okay, so
how do we go about installing this ISO thing? We have to create it on a flash drive or something?
No, we're going to install it from a RAM drive, and I'm kind of looking forward to this piece. We're using Rufus to download Windows 10 2004 because it's not available from Microsoft's website. Hey, I can't find any place where you can download older Windows feature updates. But Rufus lets us download those. So then once we have that downloaded, it's an ISO file. Then we can simply go into Windows Explorer and select to open ISO files with Windows Explorer. Okay. And then it's just a double click and that mounts it. That mounts that drive as a virtual drive, and we can run setup from there. Now, that could be considered by somebody as really chancy, but those instructions are on Microsoft's website, on the Media Creation Tool website. So that's kind of a fun, surprising thing. So I'm going to bring up a tab and go show that, because that's a good teaching point, I think. So let's see. Media Creation Tool is the way that I search for this, because that just works pretty easily. And hopefully I'll be able to click to the place where Microsoft's website shows this technique. So that's the October 2020 update. We come down here to download tool now. No. More download options. I think this is the place for it. And then Windows. No, that wasn't it. Here, use the media creation tool. Using the tool to upgrade this PC. No, using the tool to create installation media. Is it that one? Yeah, this feels like it. Let's see, create media for another PC. Select which media, go to the location, open DVD burner. Oh, here, additional methods for using ISO file to install Windows 10, section below. So when I click on this, it's going to take me to the section further below on this screen. Additional methods, here it is, additional methods for using ISO file to install Windows 10. Coming down to here, go to the location where the ISO is saved, right-click the ISO properties. On the General tab, click Change. Select Windows Explorer for the program you'd like to open. ISO files, click Apply. Right-click the ISO file, select Mount. Double-click the ISO file to view the files within. Double-click Setup exe to start Windows 10 setup. So this is telling us right here, this is Microsoft. Whoops, let me move our picture-in-picture out of the way. This is Microsoft telling us that this is a valid way to run setup exe from a Windows Media Installation ISO file. If somebody had told me about this technique, I would say, yeah, but will that work for performing an upgrade Windows 10 installation? I'm saying this says yes.
Oh,
So you don't
but basically this is what we did from the media installation drive, but instead of having to create a media installation drive,
Right.
we have the ISO there and we run the setup from.
Right. So we don't have to create it on a USB memory
Exactly.
stick, which that took a little while to do.
Yeah.
And you could have, since from Rufus we can download multiple different versions of Windows, this would be a pretty easy way to experimentally install a different version of Windows and see what upgrades will perform. Do I see a lockup on the video? I'm looking at my.
Oh, you're moving. I mean, I'm seeing you very well.
Oh, my other computer here was paused, it looks like.
Okay.
Is that right? Yeah, that computer in Live Studio shows that it's going, and now this one's alive. Somehow I had paused that computer. Okay, so that is the plan for how we're going to perform the install when we get to that point. We're 3.2 gigabytes of 4.99 gigabytes. Now it's climbed up to 40 minutes left.
Yeah, the speed went down.
28, 25, 23, 20. It knows that I'm looking at it now and the numbers are going down. All right, go figure that. Okay.
At some point I was getting, maybe 25 to 30, but lately it's been, down in the teens.
All right. Well, just because somebody asked, let's go ahead and do a speed test. My favorite is just speed tests in Google. That didn't give me what I usually see. Usually it comes up right up with a button.
I use the Xfinity speed test so I can.
Xfinity, where I'm looking for the word Xfinity.
You write, you write xfinity.speedtest.com.
Oh. I'm guessing the normal Google search didn't work. Then I'm
Xfinity.
It switched to this WW42. I didn't do that as a Google search, so let's go Xfinity speed test. There, speedtest.xfinity.com. Anyway, I was saying that I think the Google search didn't give what I'm used to because you are in a different country.
Balloon. You get the balloon, and then you start going into the airplane. So it's right now it's at 24, so it's very good.
So there's nothing deficient about your speed as far as what you're accustomed to.
Yeah, not right now. It's very good. I tried it this afternoon. It was down to about 9.6.
Well, it's significant to say that the speed test was good, even when we have this load of doing Zoom and doing the remote connection, because those don't really take a lot of bandwidth, I don't think. And I think this speed test kind of demonstrate that. We're instructed to not be running other things through the internet when we do speed tests.
Exactly.
But that still looked good, even though we've got a lot going on right now.
Yeah, that is the best I've seen in a couple of days.
Okay, so I'm looking back at chat. Out of stock, thought up to speed 440. Well, that's chat just jumps around on me. I mean, San Juan's a different. Oh. So, though, to speed up, download, disable video on Zoom.
Oh, yeah. That's a good
potentially. Is this the same person as last time? Yes, it is. Yes, that will work. Yes, before. Oh, yeah, that'll be interesting to see. We can test that. Internal reset of Windows 10 does not keep all apps and files, so bad idea. Yeah. And Blackwatch, something is in that system it does not like. If it was me, I would back up and do a clean install. Back to the same point. Yes, if you're a consultant providing services to client, absolutely. Even if your own computer, absolutely. My motivation here is I want to find better solutions for computers that have update troubles, because this is going to continue to be a problem for us moving forward. All kinds of things saying that was an answer to Carrie Holzman. Okay. I'm not going to try to figure out what that conversation was. 3.6. Okay, so we want to try turning off our video connection and see if that... Now, how are we going to judge whether that makes a difference? Those numbers are bouncing around so much. How do you judge?
Yeah, but we can check to see if the time is shorter, if the speed is better.
Yeah, the time's bouncing around so much. Oh, you just got a message. Your internet connection is unstable. Yeah. So go ahead and turn off the video. So you turned off your video, and then.
Yep.
let's see if we turn, actually we could unjoin you from Zoom. We could leave the Zoom meeting and then bring you back in after a little bit. Let's see, did we lose his audio at the same time?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
All right. So how do it, 21 minutes, 19 minutes? I mean, these numbers bounce around so much. How are we
Yeah.
going to judge this? Let's go ahead and I'll click to leave you from Zoom, and then I'll click to bring you back in to Zoom after we've had a minute or so to judge. Okay?
Right.
All right, here you go. Goodbye. Okay, so he's off of Zoom. So here we've got 19 minutes left, 18 minutes left, 17, 16, 15, 16. There's no real clear way to judge if that sped things up. This is doing a download of a large file, and the internet connection really doesn't show all that much bandwidth being used for this. 14, 15. I don't see that that's impressive. Let's see, looking at chat, what are you guys saying about this? Nothing else. Lance, wow, if I had 25 megabytes per second, yeah, okay, you would have a reaction, I'll put it that way. 15, 16. I'm going to bring up some display here of performance and Wi-Fi. We're showing 11 megabits per second activity happening on Wi-Fi. Disk is 0%, 1%, so this is very low demand on writing to the disk. We are showing, let's see, the Wi-Fi connection I think was 30 some odd megabits per second capability. So this is not taking up all of his bandwidth. Now, if I start the Zoom connection again, what happens to his Wi-Fi graph? We've got all this graph here showing what his connection looks like when it's just doing the download and the remote connection. All right, I kind of like this. Let's bring back Zoom, put it off to the side. Let's see, let me do Windows key right arrow, and then bring this graphic up on the left half of the screen so we can see it. And then let's see how much of a difference joining the Zoom meeting makes. Okay, join with video there. I'm going to keep trying to keep that. I'm going to do Windows key right arrow to move that. And so let's see what happens to this graph now.
Did very little.
Well, it did do something. See, this dotted line here is for sending. So sending definitely went up.
Right.
Because here was sending prior to joining Zoom. So your upload is gaining some activity. And this receive line really is on a lower average than it was back here. Yeah. So when you're sending, it is making a difference. Now, so what if we turn off your video? I'm choosing stop video. And that graph just changed scale. So this sending, here's the sending with the video. Here's what happens with sending without the video.
Yeah, but you
And
see-
here's what happened to the receive. The receive jumped up.
Right.
So that is making a difference. We have displayed that difference.
But it's still very, very low, the receive.
Yeah, that's 7.7 megabits per second to 11 megabits per second. We were getting higher than that, weren't we?
The speed test was getting higher, but we were
Speed
not.
test, yeah, but even I think at the beginning of looking at this download, I thought we were getting better than that. I'm using Alt-Tab to come back to the browser. Move that off to the side. We're at 4.0 gigabytes of 4.9. So we're getting closer. Let me close down a couple of tabs on the browser. Now, as long as we're playing around with things, I'm going to take you out of the meeting again, then bring you back in without video. I think you'll still be able to see me though, or does that remove all video? Do not connect. Turn off my video. Join. And join. Okay, 503. Yeah, so you do see my video.
Yep, I do.
Windows key right arrow.
It went up momentarily and then it dropped down again.
Yeah, so your sending is up now because you are sending audio, and the download activity was up higher. All right, Alt-Tab to bring the browser back. 4.1 of 4.9. I'm looking at chat. Greg Guy asks, will another speed test show you?
This guy says,
Maybe.
I have 50 megabits and I find it too slow.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club.
Well, sometimes people just 50 megabytes and they say my computer's still slow. Well, there may be something else.
Yeah, there
causing
might
the
be
computer to
something
be
else
slow.
with this computer, not
Yeah.
with this. Because 50 megabits
Yeah.
is more than enough for most of the things that I do.
Yeah. About 5 or 6 megabytes per second. You should not have any trouble streaming videos, watching
Right.
videos. It's just download speeds would be all that you care about for downloading large files. Then Paul says I got 100 over 100 and a little slow. Can't get the government to approve the budget to get 1 gigabits per second. Downloading 100 megabits per hour.
Wow.
You're just showing off, Lance. Bruins had to step away for a while. Are we now dealing with Wi-Fi issues? No, we're just waiting for this download to happen. So we've been poking around at some things out of curiosity to see what impact we can change on these graphs, on this Wi-Fi graph. When we exit from Zoom and come back into Zoom, and when we turn the camera on or off for Luis, then this upload line down here goes up and the download line comes down. So
Let
when
me, let me turn off the audio portion to see what happens.
okay, go ahead. Okay, so there he just clicked mute on the audio. So he's not sending audio or video. So right here, we'd be expecting to see a reduction on the sending line, except that he is still sending his screen images to my computer. So that still is a send. It's interesting, this line has not gone down. If anything, from when he stopped audio, it's gone up. Because before he turned off audio, this was his sending line. Oh, look at this download is going way down. And now it's changed in scale. Does that mean that we've finished the download? It's going back up. Here's an Alt tab to bring back the browser so we can see where we're at. We're at 4.4 of 4.9 gigabytes, claiming 10 to 9 minutes left. That was quite a crash right here in the download speed. Now it changed scale again. Here's that part that I just described as crash. So very erratic, which may be indicating portions of the file are more compressible than other portions of the file. When it finds parts of the file that can be compressed more, then the download speed should increase. When it finds dense portions of the file, then speed would decrease because it accomplishes fewer megabytes over that period of time if it's more dense. And then William says, could be the website itself. Well, the way to test that is just on another computer that has a much higher download speed to test the download. Now, we are downloading not from Microsoft, we're downloading from Rufus. So, yeah, that certainly could be an issue. We don't know much about their hosting site. Alan says hello. Hi, Alan. Oh, Alan is coming into a session with me soon. I'm not sure when. Alan, your last email to me didn't have any text in it, so I don't know which of those dates or times that you were wanting to use. Alan's going to come into a session with me for his OneDrive. He has to re-sign in every day. So we're going to work on solving that. That's Alan Barsness in the chat. So I pitched him some dates and times tomorrow and the next day. Then Gary says, just did the speed test to work from home. One Detroit area, one... Wait a minute, what? Just did the speed test to work from home. One Detroit area, one Denver area. Okay? Those are the two different areas. You did a speed test between those two, I guess. Dan the Man, I downloaded from Rufus, and it downloaded in about 3 minutes on 1 gigabyte per second. So that proves it's not the website. Thank you, Dan, for doing that. So he just downloaded from Rufus. I don't know if he downloaded Windows 10 2004. That shouldn't make a difference. Any of the versions of Windows 10 should be the same. Alan says May 18th. So that's 2 days away. So expecting a session with Alan Barsness on May 18th. Where you could choose, I think, any of those times during the day that I told you in the email. It's fairly flexible. So Tuesday the 18th. Oh, I think I did put Tuesday as one of the options. And go look at that. Alan, I'm looking there. Yeah, the 18th was 10 a.m. So that'll be 10 a.m. Pacific time on Tuesday, the 18th, with Alan Barsness. Yeah. Great. That's great. Dan, I already sent you the link, and you know to come in to the Zoom session 15 minutes before our 10 a.m. Pacific start time. And I need still to know, Alan, where are you located? I'm interested in time zone. I'm also interested in city, state, country, or whatever, because I do that Google Earth thing at the beginning of my live streams. How are we doing? 4.8 of 4.9 gigabytes. Getting close. Manitoba time. Is that Manitoba time?
Just about 1 minute left.
The time that I'm saying 10 a.m. on May 18th is Pacific Daylight Time, California. So the time that I'm saying is not Manitoba time. I don't know what your time zone is. Okay, so what was that, Luis? You just said
1 minute left.
1 minute left. Where's that browser? Come back to me. Here we go. 2 minutes left. 4.8 gigabytes. 1 minute left. It is really trying. You could go ahead and turn your camera back on. There we go. And I'm going to minimize the Zoom meeting. And there's 4.9. Let's see, move your thumbnail image underneath the Zoom image that I'm broadcasting. So there's that little white tick at the top of this circle. It's trying to close that gap. And Dan confirms it was 2004 that he downloaded. Great. Ken saying hello to Catherine. Oh, Catherine's here. Hi, Catherine. And Rick saying hello. Alan. Oh, good, Alan. You have 5:30 p.m. now, so you are in my time zone. Yes, that's done. Look at that. That just dropped off a cliff right there. That downloading line. So we'll close that. We got a full download of that ISO. And show it in the folder. That's in your download folder. And we've been keeping other things in your downloads folder. So if you eventually want to move that somewhere, I don't know why you would care to, except that it took so long to download. Then let's go pursue the other things that we're intending to do before running that. And I'm going to switch to my OneNote to take them in the order I have them highlighted. Windows Update Troubleshooter. So come back to a full screen on your computer, Windows key, and type troubleshooter or troubleshoot settings. And recommended troubleshooting, scroll down, where was that? I want, here, troubleshoot, oh, we're in there. Searching, indexing, Windows Store apps, compatibility, where was that at? I've seen that, oh, there it is. I just scrolled right past it, Windows Update. So we're going to troubleshoot Windows Update and run the troubleshooter. Mainly because we haven't done this before. I'm really expecting that the Windows Update Health program that Windows started deploying back in October and has just got more pronounced about it over the last month or two, it's got to be doing all the same things that the update troubleshooter is doing, and they're not going to take the update troubleshooter away from us because that's all some people know. Catherine saying hello to me, so hello back. And Alan is 10 a.m. Yes, 10 a.m. my time and your time. But Alan, where are you located? Because I do a Google Earth thing as the live stream is waiting to start. So are you actually in Manitoba? Just give me yes, Manitoba. Don't just give me the word yes. Give me yes, Manitoba, please. Initializing the diagnostic. Checking bit service. Yeah, I've seen bit service on the other things that the other elements do. Checking pending restart. So it's looking as that's so basic. Is your computer waiting to restart for some other reason?
I have no idea.
And service registration is missing or corrupt. Well, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Let's view detailed information on that. Service registration is missing or corrupt. Reset service registration. Potential issues that were checked. So these issues were not present. Service registration missing or corrupt. Potential issues that were checked. Detection details. So does this give us detection details about that service registration? I'm going to go look at that in a minute. Looking at these other things. Issue not present. Issue not present. Okay, so it looks like at the top of this, it gives us a summary of issues found. And as we go down further, there's issues found and then potential issues that were checked. All right, so now look at detection details. Is postback RC pending updates? False. Is postback pending updates? True. Service status. Problem with bit service. The requested service has already been started. Help is available. Typing such and such. Service status. Problem with bit service. More information. Collection information. There's the name of your computer. Windows version. Publisher details. I don't think that's of any interest. So, problem with bit service. Whatever that was. Now, I don't recollect that we had run the Windows Update Troubleshooter before.
No, we hadn't.
And with all the changes that we're making, we're going to be hard-pressed to say that this was or wasn't the sole source of the trouble. But I was not eager to go here because it's just never helped me. And because, like I stated earlier, that Windows Update Health application, I thought the process would have fixed things that were covered in here already. Click next. So, quite possible I was wrong. I will be more diligent about using that, certainly, just because that looks like it might have been useful. So, closing that, going back to look at my notes to take the next item. Manually download and install interim update. So we've done that installation. MS config, we'll have to restart your computer once we do that. And new user group.
That's the restart pending that we have, the MS config.
Yeah, we did have a restart pending for that. But that shouldn't be that bits service thing that it was saying that it corrected. And it might have cleared that restart issue. So we might be reselecting those. Although I think we actually canceled out of that.
No, what we canceled out was from the user, local user.
Yeah, we did cancel that.
The restart from the from the that you change it to the Windows Essential Services is still pending.
Yeah, so here, your info. Whoops, wait a minute. I'm on my computer.
Yeah.
Come back to your computer. Okay, Windows key, users, add remove users, and this gets us also to this your info screen. This is where we're going to change your account to use a local account. So you'll need to redo those pieces where you put in a new password. And this is your
This is
Microsoft
this is
Microsoft password here.
the original one.
Yeah.
The new one.
And then you put in your new ones. Let's see. Back, Catherine, 21H1, yes, but I've stated that over and over again why I'm not doing that. Let's see, shots. I'm trying to figure out where I left off up here. Yeah, 10 a.m. with Alan. Some hellos back and forth. Somebody got their shot. I got my second shot yesterday. COVID. Haven't followed completely from the beginning. Is there a reason not to do a fresh install? Yes, there is, and I'll repeat that again later. Not right now because I have stated it recently. This is bouncing around so much. Manitoba. 5 minute to DL constant 95 per second. I'm gonna pop out this chat. It is just, I try to scroll it down and it bounces up. Okay, this is looking more stable. Yes, my lady, thanks. Meant to reply soon. Yes, registry is slim, not bloated. 21H1 available already. No, thank you. We're not going down that road for reasons I've stated multiple times. The diagnostic has found issues marked as fixed and reset. Yes, I saw that. Catherine, she downloaded as a preview. Paul says okay. Okay, yes. And I got a text from Aaron about Carrie's recommendation in chat, and yes, I did see that. I am not going that direction, thank you, for reasons that I have said a few times over. So, switch to local account. You're almost done. Sign out and finish. So that ended our Zoom session. My remote connection still exists. We got an hourglass, and here's back up. And then we'll go back to Zoom. And join. And go to here and join. And passcode. Join with video. Okay, we're back.
We're back. Yeah, you can close that one.
All right. Let's see. That's WebEx came up again, and minimize that and move your thumbnail down behind the two that I'm displaying and minimize that. Then Windows key, users, add, edit, remove users. Let's see, 5:35 is where I left off in chat. And if I click on your info, that'll show us here that you're administrator. And oh, it's interesting. I'm accustomed to seeing it say local user here, I thought. But it doesn't have your Microsoft account address there anymore. And then we'll come down to family and other users, add someone else to this PC. Don't have this person's sign-in information. Something went wrong. We had that happen before.
Yep.
Curious. Windows key R, MS config, see the status of that. Let's go back to normal. Now, we never did restart after having made those changes. It wants a restart, so we still owe it a restart. But I'm going to see here if this makes a difference. If this still won't work, then we'll do a restart. Oh, that did it. So as long as we had that MS config set up where it was wanting a restart to accomplish those changes, we couldn't add a new account. We want to do this without a Microsoft account, and a username can be anything. We'll call it user, just because I'm that creative. And we'll go, yeah, you go ahead and put in a password. We could have easily done that without a password. Now, the down thing here is that it asks all these security questions. Rather than, let me do something here. When we're just doing this as a temporary user account, you don't really intend to be using it. You're probably going to get rid of it later. So for that type of thing, what I do is just choose the first one and put the letter A. Choose the next question. Don't stress out over these questions because we have another administrator user account. We're never going to have to recover this account without having your other user account. So we don't care what those questions are. We just get past this step. This is a temporary account. Now, right now, it's a local account and it's a limited user. So we're going to change the account type to make it a administrator, and then OK. All right. Now, so we're going to go ahead and restart the computer and log in with that account, and then to get back into Zoom, I think I can do this with my remote connection still intact. I'm going to try that. That's going to be interesting. But if not, if we lose that, Windows key and then Zoom will get you back to the Zoom app, and then joining here and use the drop-down list to pick out my meeting. Right. And then the passcode was the number 5, 6 times. Right. That's not a secret, so I don't care about making that public on the video. All right. So now I've got a couple ways of initiating this restart. You know what? Actually, let's not do it as a restart. Let's just log out. I'm going to click up here on your user profile because we're still going to do a restart after changing MS config under the other username. So we'll sign out as your current username, and that'll take us back to the sign in screen. And I'll click on the user called user, and then you'll put in the password, and we'll get back to Zoom. So there we lost Zoom. Signing out. And I'm moving the mouse so he realizes I'm still connected. Oh, it's going right back into Luis. All right, so I'm going to come back and do this a different way. Instead of signing out, I'm going to sign in as user. Then at that point, technically both users are signed in, but this will let us initialize the new user account for user. 535 in chat. Catherine is saying that 21H1 is working well for her. Bruin's good to hear. Catherine, the even update says it should. The mess Microsoft made should not have happened. These update messes are going to continue happening. Bruins, I'm glad my place of business did not have the Outlook issues recently. That would have been a mess. Those Outlook issues didn't last very long. Microsoft had it fixed within 3 or 4 hours, and it just automatically fixed. The only clients of mine that had the trouble is the ones that got that update installed before the fix came out. So I had just a small percentage of my clients encountered that problem. So let's see, do we care about changing these? Look at diagnostic data. This is going to send required and optional diagnostic data. I want to do that. I want optional diagnostic data just in case if we still have trouble, then maybe something will come of it. Complete setup for Microsoft Edge. We'll click on focused and confirm and continue without signing in. It wants to sign into a Microsoft account for Edge. Not going to do that. Close Edge, Windows key, and then Zoom. And it didn't find the Zoom app. I'm not certain the Zoom app is installed on his computer as an app, but let's see. Come down here. Nope, not there. Then let's go into Edge and do Zoom.us. He's not in the US. Does that matter? Join a meeting. And the meeting ID 559-500-3498. So the same as my Skype phone number, which I never use, even though I pay for it every month. Download should start. I don't want to launch a meeting. I want to join a meeting. Launch meeting, download now. Oh, here's the Zoom client. Download now. Downloading and page isn't responding. Wait. It says waiting for Zoom US. Zoom US was probably not a good choice for me to have done because he is in Puerto Rico. So how about if I do zoom.com? Join a meeting. I feel like I must have missed something. Click Open Meetings on the dialog shown by your browser. If you don't see a dialog, click Launch Meeting. Okay. Seems like launching meeting would be to start a meeting. Clicked again. Not happy. Oh, there's several downloads. All right, so let's try opening that file. Installing Zoom. Top right in downloads, Dan, I think you're right. Catherine, yes, because Microsoft no longer has a testing team. Well, they don't have the same testing team. Zoom video, yes. Jeff, I don't like Outlook for email because of the proprietary format for storing messages. Prefer something that stores text as text. Catherine to Jeff, he may not have a choice of which email client he can use. Top right in downloads from Dan. Let's see, that is the bottom of chat, right? Yeah. And that's at 5:45. Okay. Well, that took longer to get back to than we thought.
There we go.
Yeah.
Why did it have to install it again?
Yeah, and that was odd. I don't know. I think it was installed under your profile. It should have been available to any user profile on the computer. Because previously when we were logged in as you, I was able to do the Windows key and type Zoom and get into it. Oh, but wait a minute. We didn't actually log out of your user profile. So is it still open? Is Zoom still open under your user profile? That could be. See right here, Lewis is still signed in. And we didn't actually exit from Zoom under your profile. That might have had something to do with the difficulty getting you back in to Zoom. Okay, so here's this new fresh user. It's an admin user. And I'm back on my Microsoft OneNote list. Let's see. So we still got to do the MS config. And then we did the new local user. We're logged into the user account. So now it's MS config and reboot your computer and log in as this generic user. Now, let's see. We don't need this Microsoft Edge anymore. Now, we might have difficulty with making this MS config change while your user account is still logged in. Diagnostic startup does basic devices and services only. Now, I have not tested the log me in connection and Zoom capability under basic devices.
Well, it probably will not work.
It kind of seems doubtful, doesn't it?
Right.
But these basic devices and services, is the remote connection actually a device or a service? Is Zoom a device or a service? I challenge that, but here's what I'm going to do to give us an extra leg up. On my computer, and the viewers can see this, I'm going to calling card and a button that says install calling card. And then back to your desktop. And we got this message, DougBetts would like to deploy. Okay. And that gives us, where'd it go? Oh, right there. There. Are you back with us, Luis?
Well, I can see what you're doing on my.
I thought you were in a conversation with somebody.
No.
Oh, okay. So here's this DougBetts remote icon. See that guy there?
Yep.
So if I lose my remote connection to your computer, you can double click this guy, and I'm going to show you here what it comes up with, checking for updates, and then you click continue, and then you're going to put in your name and connect. And that's going to get you reestablished, your connection reestablished to me, okay?
All right.
And then Windows key, Zoom. Here's the Zoom app. We'll drag that out to the desktop. I didn't want to drag. I'll right click. Pin to start, open file location. I'll open file location, and that should let me drag a shortcut out. Dragging it out to the desktop. Control Shift to make it do a shortcut instead of moving it. So there you got those two guys. And then one other thing here. Let's see, do a text document and 559 500 3498. So there's the session ID if you need to copy and paste it into Zoom.
Okay.
And you probably remember the passcode, right?
Yes, I do.
Yep. Okay. So looking back at my checklist. Create new menu, convert login to local account, did that. So the only thing we have left is the MS config.
Now reboot.
And reboot, yeah. So Windows key R, MS config, and diagnostic startup. Now, somehow we got to come into some kind of an issue with, oh, I know what we could do. Your other user account that signed in. Now that we have established and initialized this new user account, let's go back. We'll click on this. That should jump us right over to your already signed in user account. You'll probably have to do your password. And do you still hear me, Luis? Okay, then I don't think he does. We'll click here and log out, sign out. Oops, try again, sign out. So we're signing out Luis. And that should take us back into this new user account. Don't go in as Luis, please. That is Luis's desktop. Try this again. There's no apps open. Sign out. And I'll stop touching the mouse. Maybe I messed it up by touching the mouse. Looking for you. Oh, it's doing a facial recognition. That's why it's signing in as him. How do we stop that? I just tried the escape key. Here, let's click on user. There, couldn't recognize you. Now, put in your password. Try it again because I messed you up. Oh, he's still watching the video, so I think he can still hear me. Just not through Zoom. Well, he probably has the video muted. Okay, so that's okay. Let's not bother with that because we're not going to be here long. So Windows key R, MS config, diagnostic startup, OK, and restart. Let's see. Let's end this first. We're going to end the Zoom meeting or his connection to the Zoom session. And what else do we got? System config, that's fine. And restart. Okay, looking at chat. 5:45 is my last. Correct, most major businesses use Outlook as part of MS Office. We are in process of switching to MS Teams. Yeah, okay, yeah, that has a different email function other than Outlook, I think. Bruins away from Cisco, Jabber, WebEx. Ada, that's a good idea, Doug. No third-party software will be in that user account. Maybe it'll work. That's exactly what I'm thinking. It's just more mud to throw at the wall. Jeff, to Catherine, I understand I had to use Outlook when I was still working in retirement. I have more choices. Catherine, yes, Jeff, me too. I can decide what gets installed. Bruins, Jeff, I agree with you. I wouldn't use Outlook as my personal choice. Greg Guy, U.S. Navy only uses MS Outlook. I worked for the U.S. Navy for 24 years. Jeff, way back in DOS Windows 3.11 9X days, I had email clients that stored messages as text. I can still browse those emails with a text editor. I understand, Jeff. One thing I did like about Outlook at work was the ability to archive emails and attachments as Adobe Acrobat files. Paul, to Catherine, do you remember which option you selected, dev or early release? That would be when she installed the 21H1. And that brings us to 5:55 p.m. in chat. It's 5:55 p.m. my time. And wherever you are in the world, you probably see some other number on the hours side of the chat, but also 55 for the minutes, because we should be in sync for the number of minutes. So I'm suspecting with this length of time, now he's got a spinning hard drive, so we know his reboot's going to take a couple minutes. And I have a counter here showing that my computer is seeing that his computer is rebooting with 2 minutes, although that counter just starts when my computer recognizes that he's gone and he's in a reboot sequence. My computer's not actually seeing him yet. So once he gets restarted, which is probably going to be somewhere between the 2 to 3 minute mark, he might have to restart the remote connection and restart the Zoom connection. And he is in the YouTube on another computer. So he may be hearing me, he might be in chat. So you, Luis, if you're not hearing me already, unmute your other computer and talk to us in chat if you are waiting for your computer. Let's see. Rick Hubbard says almost 2 a.m. here. Rick is in Leicester, England, across the pond. And that was 5:58 p.m. in chat. What else can we do while we're waiting? I'm going to go back and look at my OneNote. I'm going to bring it down the screen a little bit so I can see what's going on. So Microsoft Update Health Tools, that runs automatically. We don't have any way to launch that. Software distribution folder, we had tried that. He's recently done an update BIOS. We verified manufacturer updates. MBR versus GPT partition. You know what? I'm sorry. I went into there. Oh, this is him on the phone. Hello, Luis.
Doug, it doesn't bring up the internet connection, so I have no way of connecting to the internet. I'm connected via
Okay. So
internet cable, and it says there's no internet connection.
Okay, so that was too aggressive with MS config. So go back into MS config and change it back to normal startup and reboot your computer. then come back into that generic user account. We'll go ahead and do the update with that. Or maybe we'll be a little less aggressive at disabling things. But yeah, that makes total sense. Now, wait a minute. How about, what if you, well, I was going to say, what if you connect Ethernet?
Yeah, I am connected via
You are
Ethernet.
connected Ethernet. Still doesn't work. Okay, go back and change it to normal startup and restart the computer and get us back connected again. We'll take a less aggressive approach.
You want me to log in as user or just as the same?
As user. Log in as user, not as yourself. And watch out for that facial recognition.
Yeah, that was what was happening. I covered the camera and that's why it worked.
Ah, very good. Very good. Good move.
Because, you know, it recognizes my face immediately and it goes right in.
Yeah. So when I tried calling you on the phone earlier, I got a message about my international calling plan. I don't have no idea what I get charged for international calls. Are you?
That's incredible because it's not international, it's local.
For you to call me?
Yeah, I call the U.S. and
Oh, okay. So it's a local call for you to call U.S. All right.
it should be a local call for you too.
Yeah, well, it wasn't saying that. I do know that there's some occasions where a call in one direction could be international and in the other direction could be local. I've come across that kind of thing before.
This thing is still looking for me with the face recognition. I have the camera covered.
Yeah, it's still going to look for you.
Too much technology, my friend. I don't mind logging in and clicking a couple of times here and there. Now everything is so automated.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so I got a message from Aaron saying you couldn't see the checklist. I had it covered with the picture-in-picture, so I just fixed that. Thank you, Aaron. For those who don't know, Aaron, who is known as ATEX in chat, and Greg Weisenberger both have my cell phone. They can send me text messages to let me know about things that I'm messing up or doing wrong, or stream goes down, or there's audio problems, all those kinds of things.
It never let me log in as user. It just came and it kept looking for me and looking for me and looking for me. And once I uncovered the camera, it went directly into my
Okay.
log.
You might need to that's okay, because you can still make the MS config change. But when you restart the computer and it gets to the point where it's trying to see you, try the escape key on the keyboard, because that's what I did.
Okay.
That's how I got it. I think how I got it out of that facial recognition.
Let me try it again.
Let's see, 550.
I covered the camera and it kept searching and searching and searching and searching and searching. Once I uncovered it, it came back and it says, "Hi, Luis."
Yeah. So just hit the escape key when you get to that point. I think that'll get you to a point where you can click on the other username. Let's see, 5:58 in chat. ZVI Manor is 4 a.m. wherever he's at. Where are you, ZVI? Oh,
This thing, I kicked the escape key and it recognizes me anyway.
Oh, well, you'd want to have the camera covered, because it's going to try that first.
Yeah. Let me try it again.
Did you change MS config yet?
Yeah, I put it back to normal.
Normal. Okay. Paul says it's 8 p.m. in Winnipeg, Canada. Chris McGraw is 9 p.m. in Quebec Province, Canada. ZVI Manor says you need config safe mode with net. I've got a really easy button in LogMeIn Rescue Technician to restart in safe mode with network. And yes, that should work for us. Although, no, I don't think it will, because I've tried Windows Update before. It won't run in safe mode. So no, that's not going to do it. And then Paul says to cover up the camera. Yeah, safe mode with networking is not going to do it. We can get back to the remote connection and Zoom with that, but we're not going to be able to run the update to 2004. William Dawson is 9:05 p.m. in Cocoa, Florida. We got 27 viewers I'm seeing on both screens. Stream health says healthy. We had a glitch about 3:02 p.m. just after starting the stream saying the audio bit rate was bad. But that problem went away on its own. I hear a ding. That means Luis is coming back in. And he's waiting. I am right-click and then start. And then restart applet as system service. This should give you a prompt, Luis. Catherine says, I downloaded preview channel version of Windows. Okay, that was her 21H1. And then Catherine, my heroine, is saying, I like the video and asking everyone to like the video, please. Paul says, thank you. ZVI Manor, unfortunately in a war zone, Israel. Oh, ZVI Manor. You are having to go. And then I'll click remote control. I'm going to remove your old session by ending it. Okay, so I've got a next idea. I'll hang up the phone call. Let's see, are we on Zoom? Yeah, we're on Zoom now, aren't we?
Yeah, but I cannot hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, probably. Go ahead.
Okay, so phone call ended.
Okay.
And I hear you. Do you hear me?
Yeah, fine.
All right, we're good. So minimize the Zoom session, hide it behind the other thumbnails. This rescue dialog box is remote control started. We'll minimize that. This one says
that was the older one.
This is the old one right here. It says DougBetts has ended the session.
Right.
And close that. Okay, so that wasn't too surprising that.
Yeah, you got many services that are needed for this kind of.
Certainly. So here's what I'm thinking is we've made a lot of changes. So if we go ahead and try doing the update without disabling any more background stuff, we've already uninstalled a lot of background programs. We've got this new user account. We've disabled a lot of startup items. I'll come down here to Task Manager and just for the benefit of the video, show our status on the Startup tab. So we got a bunch of stuff disabled. I'm going to click on the status column heading so that they're sorted in order. Actually, I'm surprised to see more things enabled there than I expected.
Oh, you know what? I didn't have any audio when the system booted.
Oh yeah, so you re-enabled some stuff. That's
yeah.
right.
No. I didn't re-enable it. I had to when the system came up under the limited startup. It didn't have audio. It didn't have internet. It had nothing.
Okay. I'm just looking now to see what we have enabled for what we're about to try with Windows Update. So it's all of these items here. I know somebody already mentioned in a prior video about uninstalling Java. I'm guessing you have Java installed because of your programming activities.
Yes, I do. I have, and
Yeah.
I need the
You need
services most of the time.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard to imagine that that's interfering with Windows Update. I mean, that's not an unusual new thing for Windows updates to come up against. We've got OneDrive and Dropbox both enabled.
Now, OneDrive I never use.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can disable.
See, I'm inclined to just go ahead and try the update because we're updating to 2004. Excuse me, to 2004, otherwise known as 20H1.
Right.
We've got a new user, a clean user profile. We ran the update troubleshooter and did fix something. What else? We're going to be running the update using a different method, meaning from that RAM drive.
Maybe you cannot find the update from here, right? The ISO, we can maybe we cannot access it from right here.
Well, yeah, we can. We might have to jump through a hoop because it's in the download folder for your other profile.
Exactly. We have
Which
to go to the
we're going to have to gain access to it. So we'll come down here to the users
Right.
profiles,
and
go
we-
here to Luis
There you
F, and gain access to that
Right.
profile.
Well, we might have, we can use it from there.
I'd rather move it to a more generic location. It's with cut and paste. We don't even have to copy it. Just cut and paste is a quick operation. But we have to wait for this thing to.
Oh, I was looking at what if the temporary drive disappeared, and it did.
That other drive letter that we
Another
couldn't get
drive
rid-
letter that was out
Yeah,
there, once
right.
we restarted, it disappeared.
Yeah, sure enough. I'm going to maximize here and collapse that. Yeah, no other drive letters. So I like that too because there was that one drive mapping that wouldn't go away. So then here's downloads for your other user profile. And then I'm going to sort by the date modified column to quickly find that. Here it is, Windows 10 2004. So I'll right click and cut and then take it to a more generic location. I'm kind of liking data.
No, data is a
Nope.
folder I use to make backups of my
Drivers, that sounds good. Everybody has access to drivers. We don't have access to that data folder right now. It appears to be secured or something.
It's a folder that I use for making backups from my customer data over the FTP.
Okay, that's interesting. Now, so then next we're going to mount this. So this mount option is here because ISO files are already designated to open in Windows Explorer. If you haven't accomplished that step, then that mount option won't be there.
Not show this.
Yeah, so that just did mount it, didn't it? So I think even just a double click on this will mount it.
Yeah, there you go.
And then we can run setup from there.
Right.
And I was, again, surprised to find Microsoft documents that this is a valid way to run a Windows 10 upgrade.
I can assume that it will ask me if I want to keep all my files and apps, right?
Yes. Keep all your files and apps. Yeah, we do expect it to come to that choice.
But very important.
Yeah. And that method, if you boot from a USB memory stick, you do not get that choice. The best you can do.
It did give me the choice.
When you boot the computer on a USB memory stick.
No, when I ran the update from the USB.
When you run setup from USB memory stick, yes, it'll give you that choice, but not if you boot the computer from that memory stick. The best you can do there is it's going to move all of your programs and user profiles and documents to a subfolder of Windows.old. That does not perform an upgrade. It'll install the new version of Windows, but it's a fresh installation of the new version of Windows if you boot from a memory stick.
Right.
Yeah, it'll give you a choice of there's a point where you can choose custom or you can choose upgrade. If you click on upgrade, it's going to tell you that you have to boot Windows from the C drive and then run setup from the memory stick.
Exactly.
Okay, so I think we got everything covered. I'm going to go back and look at my OneNote and be sure. I'm just looking at the yellow items. Update troubleshooter, yes. Interim update, yes. MS config, we're going to go without that. New admin local user, yeah, we've got all of that. So if this does not work, do we have any interest in you going into MS config and trying any intermediate choice?
Well, let's try it this way and see what happens before we get to that bridge.
All right. Give me a moment to just peruse.
Let's try it like it is and see what happens. And if it doesn't work.
Now, let me ask you this. In your most recent attempts, have you figured out how long it takes before it gets to that point where it reverts?
The first part, it says updating, do not turn off your computer, and it starts updating, and it goes very quickly. It gets to 100% in under 4 or 5 minutes.
Right.
Then it reboots, and then the type font changes to a smaller font, and it says updating, do not restart your computer, the PC will restart several times, and that takes about maybe 15 or 20 minutes.
All right.
And when it gets to 28%, it tries to reboot, and then it says that it cannot reboot. It says I got to 27% here, and then all of a sudden it rebooted and it says, undoing changes made to your computer.
So did you record a video of that? Is that
I got still shots of it.
Still shots.
Yeah,
okay.
It makes, a long time,
But by watching that graph, the percentage graph, and then the reboot, you know at which point to pay close attention to the screen.
Yeah, when it gets when it gets close to 20-some%.
Yeah.
See here, the last still shot I have, I got 20%, then I got 22%, 22% again, 24%, 25%, 26%. 27%, and then right there it was just about to hit 28 and it rebooted.
Okay, so great. You'll try to get pictures again, right?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Let's move forward then. So here's Now setup, we've run setup before. We do not have to run as administrator. So then click yes to this. And at some point we're going to lose connection. We'll take it up as far as we can.
Yeah, you lose connection once you say install.
I see ZVR Manor asking what version we're running now. It is 1909. And I'm going to try to keep these visible here. So Windows will go online, get updates. These updates will help the installation go smoothly. Now, which can include important fixes. Last time we declined that. If we allow it to do that, well, you've done a couple of these update attempts, and you probably let it do this, right?
Yeah, I let it do this.
You let it do that? Okay,
the
we'll
only
let it
thing
go.
I unchecked was the bottom.
You did uncheck that.
Yeah.
Well, there's very outside chance. What this is going to do is it's going to send telemetry about your update to Microsoft.
Okay, we can leave.
It's going to give them more information about your failed installation if it actually fails. So
Oh, we can leave it there.
the chances of that coming back to you soon as something helpful, I suppose it is possible, because consider this, for instance. Let's suppose your computer sends more telemetry to them about your installation, about your attempted upgrade that fails. Is it possible that Microsoft might have some update that is only going to go out to the computers that report that problem?
Exactly.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible.
You know, I have nothing to lose.
Yeah. Change how Windows setup downloads update. No, I don't see any need to do that. In fact, we went into that before, didn't we?
We went into it and changed it,
All right, I'm going to go ahead and show what that is.
and then you said not right
download
now.
updates drivers. We said not right now. You know what? Actually, maybe we should let it do that, because the
Well,
possibility.
I let it do that one time,
Okay, that's fine.
so I had
We'll
no
go ahead and let it
difference.
do that.
It takes a
And-
little bit longer because it's going to do
Yeah, it's going to do more.
right. It's going to do some downloads.
Yeah, but it's more
See,
mud.
it started checking for updates, and then it's going to
Yeah.
download some updates.
So if we told it not to check for updates, we'd be shortcutting this piece right here.
Right. But I tried it both ways, and
Yeah.
either way, it had the same results.
Now you were trying it with 20H2. We're using
20H2.
20H1 now.
Exactly.
So that was just another piece of mud that we're using. And for those of you who don't know, we're just saying we're throwing more mud at the wall to see if something sticks. We've made a lot of changes and hoping that something in this mix is going to move us forward. We're not going to know exactly what moves us forward if we are successful. Let's see, let's see what I can move stuff around here.
There you got the license
Yep.
agreement.
So accept. So that update didn't take very long.
No, it went, well, now it's checking.
Now
for
it's
updates.
doing more.
Yeah.
It's checking for updates again. Is this the same thing or something else?
But it runs fairly quickly.
Okay. When doing the upgrade, have they tried disabling the internet connection so the upgrade can't look for updates? Yes, we did do that. And still had this very exact same problem. And that was from Lance. And the method we used to disable the internet was used airplane mode. Is airplane mode a button or a switch on your computer, or was
Yeah,
it
it's a function switch.
It's a function key switch. Okay.
Yeah.
And when you eventually got back restored to 1909, it was still in airplane mode. So the
Well,
airplane stuck.
When it came back to and it booted, it was still on airplane mode, so I had to physically disable the airplane mode.
Yeah, so that just proved that the airplane mode choice stuck through the
Right.
whole process.
Exactly.
Stayed with you through the whole process. Mike Parodin says hello. Hi, Mike. Okay, so we're getting close to ending the live stream here. Once this drops the connection, then we'll be done, and we're expecting it to take a while before you have an answer. You'll email me or text me with result. Your 9:26 p.m. there. We're not going to do another session today. What's your availability tomorrow?
Tomorrow I am available all day. I have to check because Mondays are hectic days sometimes. I get
Can be for me too.
many calls on Mondays. Because
Yeah.
people like to run away from their office on Friday and what the hell, I'll fix it on Monday.
So John Lewis says, hello, like the effort. So I'll just make a last comment here. This effort is going way far beyond what any computer support technician should do or what any home user should do. And we are going past this because Luis has been so generous and kind to let me pursue this because I want to find better ways to deal with update failures in the future. Because this 20H2 is not the last one we're going to have trouble with. I promise you.
Yeah, we've had troubles with many Microsoft products
Yeah,
throughout.
some are going to go easier than others,
Exactly.
but we're going to have some problems.
You know, I've been working on Linux a long time now, and it's very stable, and I like the tools that it has. It works very well. It integrates very well with Microsoft or with any other platform. So, you know, it's a very good alternative.
Mm-hmm. I've tinkered around with it very little bit and wound up concluding, I really want to keep my hands all in the Windows environment and master it more. So spending the time for Linux just didn't make sense to me because I still have much further to go to try to.
Well, for me, it was a personal choice, to get more wide knowledge of the operating system, because I have used Unix for many years.
Yeah.
And it has evolved to a point where it's a very nice desktop GUI that it has, and you can have your choice of GUIs, and it works really good, really good.
Yeah. So Catherine's asking how many years ago?
How many years ago what?
Yeah. Well, she's actually using my name for that. So did I say something about years ago? I don't know. And Mike's asking what Windows 10 you have. Currently you have 1909 and repeated failures for updating to 20H2. So now we're trying to update to 20H1. Rain One Full says, I did a factory reset on my PC and through Windows Update, it went through and got all the feature updates leading up to the current one at the time. Yeah, I've really never heard of a factory reset or a fresh install that won't solve the problem. Catherine says, did you try Linux? How long ago? Oh, that's what she's asking, how long ago that I tried
actually,
Linux.
I started working with Linux, Red Hat Linux, when it was very early in their development. Then I switched to another Linux called Mandrake Linux. I've used many versions.
Yeah.
The latest one I'm using is the Ubuntu Linux, which is very stable, and I like it very much. But I have used many flavors of Linux.
Yeah, for me it was just maybe 3 or 4 years ago that I tried it. I think I installed it on one of these computers over here.
As a matter of fact, I have a flash drive that I can boot Linux from, And
Yes, I do too.
I run everything on that flash drive exactly as on the desktop computer that I have. I have an image of it.
A couple other questions. Chris, airplane mode can be enabled, disabled by the network or Wi-Fi icon also. Yes. I was far more interested in you doing it from a function key.
Yeah,
Because
you
a
can do
function
it.
key is the hardware
Yeah.
commanding it. So it can't get, it's less likely to get overridden by the Windows update. Mike is asking whether you
we're
have,
just about to be disconnected.
oh, 93%.
Yeah.
Okay, and Mike, he has Windows Home, right? I think it's Home
Yeah,
rather
this
than
is home.
Pro.
This is
Yeah.
home.
It may take a few minutes. Here we go, getting close.
Actually, those map drives that you saw were actually drives on Linux systems.
Okay. Yeah, I think you mentioned that. Getting close. It's gonna just cut Lewis off without
Well,
any
it should
warning, I
ask
think.
me what I want to do before it starts.
Oh,
to
is it?
install.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a question coming up. All right.
They should ask me if I want to keep my files and otherwise.
Yeah, we haven't
otherwise-
seen that yet, huh?
Yeah, see,
Oh,
there
there
you
we go. There we go. All right. Keep personal files and apps. Install Windows 10.
Now, once I hit this, we're gonna lose the whole thing.
All right.
Okay, well, I'll keep you up to date as soon as I finish this installation, and I'll let you know how it went.
Okay. Very good.
We'll
Thank you,
keep in
Luis.
touch and see if we can, if we can solve this puzzle. That would be it has been a challenge, but challenges are what it's all about.
Yes, and that's what I enjoy.
All right.
Bring it.
Thank you very much for your help, and say goodbye to everyone. And I'll be online the next time you need me.
Okay.
Right. Take care.
Thank you, Luis.
I'm gonna hit the.
Here's
install
the
button.
click. 3, 2, 1. Click. Oh, looks like we can watch a little bit more.
Well, it'll probably restart in a couple of minutes because this part
Yeah.
I've seen that this part runs pretty quick.
Yes.
The last time I did it, it ran in less than 5 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes.
I think you said it goes all the way up to 100%.
Yeah, I went all the way 100 to 100%, but very quickly. I don't know with this version of the ISO what's going to happen, but on the other one that have been tried many times, it ran for very quickly.
Yeah.
I don't have control of anything right now on my screen. I only see the little frame on the bottom that I can see you, but I don't have any other control over it.
Yeah. Do you see the mouse moving on the screen?
Yeah, I see them all.
Yeah. And we see the 6% and the spinning circle of dots.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're all seeing the same thing. Let's see. I'm going to catch up in chat here. Mondays.
This issue has been like a soap opera. Now I see people saying, "I'm dying to find out how this turns out."
Yes, they are saying that. Okay, I got that. Catherine Ubuntu. Is that Ubuntu? I haven't heard of Ubuntu. Is that another Linux variation?
Ubuntu, yeah, that's the one I use. Ubuntu.
Ubuntu with a T.
Right.
I think she got a misspelling with a Y. Mint as well. Rainfall, for example, won't let me have 2004 until I went to 1909. Catherine, you could install a VM to install Linux for trials. I'm just not interested. Not interested. Don't have any reason to do it. Don't have any pain that's making me go that way. Did you guys try downloading through the cloud? And yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Rick saying goodbye to Luis, John. I look forward to success in the update. Oh, I will publish any updates from Luis in the description of this video. If he sends me a communication, I'll put it very promptly into the description of this video. Dying to find out how it turns out. Catherine, me too. Rainful, don't let the PC go to sleep during this or it will fail. We disabled all power management stuff. It's not going to go to sleep.
Right, and I'm moving the mouse every once in a while.
Yeah. And, oh, Luis, that's you. Ubuntu Linux, 1804.
They got a newer version, 20.04, but I'm still using the earlier one to make sure that everything is kosher before I switch.
Yeah. Let's see, I can do...
I have a lot of software written in COBOL, and it runs beautifully on that Ubuntu platform.
Yeah. So you described earlier that you developed programs and that was a large part of your career, and you're now kind of semi-retired or doing
Right.
less
I used to develop software applications, like accounting applications, payroll, accounts payable, inventory, invoicing, and order entry, whatever. I started developing those applications in the early 80s. And as a matter of fact, I still have some of those applications running in my customers because they're very highly customized.
And they're text-based.
They're character-based, correctly. I run them off of a PC with a PC emulator.
Yeah.
And they're actually running on the Linux platform.
Okay.
But everything is character-based. They're very robust software. The fact of the matter that they've been running since the 80s up to now, you can imagine how well they were implemented.
Yeah. And you also told the story of having to update for 2000.
Oh yeah, we had to do the Y2K update when we started writing the software, we used to talk about it like it was some kind of couple of centuries away. We say, oh, once this gets to the year 2000, we go, and everybody used to say, well, I won't be programming then. And right. most of us were programming then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, in the 80s, the space on the disks was very expensive, and it was a very expensive commodity. So nobody thought into putting, 4 digits into the year.
Yeah.
So, saving a couple of bytes here and there would be really important. I used to run companies of over 5 megabyte disk. Now the pictures that I take are bigger than the data I used to store in those things.
Right.
This has come a long way. I've been fortunate to come along for the ride since the early stages. I started programming using wires on accounting machines that you used to make. You used to have these 2-dimensional boards, and you used to jump from this pin to that pin and that was the program. And then we jumped into the punch cards, the IBM 029 punch card system, and we programmed with that a long time. And I had the opportunity to work with the first interactive mini computers, correctly. The PDP-8 and the PDP-11 from Digital. And those actually had a terminal which you could program things, with a keyboard.
Yeah.
Then I worked for Texas Instruments some time with the systems that they had were called the DX10 and DX12, a very good operating system, really, really good computer. And that's where we developed all the COBOL programming. We started developing, and once the micro PCs came out, we started porting everything to every platform there is. I don't know if you are familiarized with an operating system they used to have in the past. It was called PCM.
I recognize it.
Yeah.
Never involved with it, but
Well, I did a lot of programming in
Okay.
PCM, and then they came out with the NPM,
yeah.
which was a multi-user platform running basically the same stuff. And you know, the most important, the most interesting thing that I was the end of the chain down here in Puerto Rico. You know, I had to support everybody down the line. You know, I had no support from elsewhere. So, you know, we had to figure everything out. So it was a very good learning, really, really good.
Yeah, so all of this career that you've just been describing was in Puerto Rico?
Yeah,
Okay.
all was in Puerto Rico since 1977.
Uh,
And you know what? The hardest part for me was when I got to the graphical user interface. It's like you run into a wall because you're used to doing things very differently, and you're used to doing a lot of sequential programming. And now everything is form-based. Most of the programmers that used to work with me, you know, just quit and jumped out.
yeah.
So this is why this is very challenging for me, because I've always liked challenges. And it's taken me a while. It took me a while to learn the concept, but once I got it, you know, I really kept rolling, you know.
So looks like we've got some interactions with your comments in chat.
Yeah, I see John Lewis says, I remember, I believe, a company they called Santa Cruz Operations. That was the first Unix, the
SCO.
first Xenix operating system I
Uh-huh.
used. And I still have a Santa Cruz operation system running in one of my customers' sites. It's the version, it's called Open Server version 6. And it runs beautifully with no problem whatsoever from the OS.
Wow, this is just 37%. Certainly this is running differently than your experience with 20H2, isn't it?
Yeah, the other one started and it ran, you know, like very quickly. I think it was because I had done it many times. Probably there was something sitting there somewhere that did not have to do it from scratch.
That's an interesting
You know,
possibility.
many people don't know that the Santa Cruz operation was a subsidiary of Microsoft.
I wouldn't have been able to recite that, but not surprising.
Yeah,
I live close to Santa Cruz.
Right. Well, it was a Microsoft subsidiary. You know, the small print
Yeah.
in the manuals where you read the small print, you would see
Yeah.
it's a Microsoft operation.
Copyright.
I mean, Santa Cruz operation is a subsidiary of the Microsoft company.
Oh. Mm. Well, you know what? We've been at this a while now.
Okay, we can just
3:45. I
disconnect.
think we should drop the live stream. Everybody
Sure.
knows numbers keep advancing. It's going to keep going. So let's just go ahead and voluntarily end this, and that might be a healthy thing for the computer anyway, for us to end the
Yeah, definitely.
Zoom session and the remote connection.
It's been maybe, you know, 3 hours and 45 minutes now.
Yeah. So let's
All right, you know,
say goodbyes.
you can say goodbye to everyone, and I'll see you next time.
All right.
It's been my pleasure.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and click you out. Thank you again, Luis.
You
Here
too,
you
you
go
too.
in 3, 2, 1, 0.
That's it.
Oh, there's a dramatic leave. Now click leave meeting. Okay. Then I'll click over here to end the connection to his computer and end that. And here we go. If you want to reach out to me to do a session together for whatever reason you might want to, the address is on your screen right now, DougBetts at LiveWindowsTraining.com. And I just see some goodbyes in the chat. Thank you for everybody for being here. And again, I'll put some kind of update in the description of this video to let you know when I find out what happened. So that does it for now. Have a great day. Catch you later. Goodbye.